Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot that I turned off my fucking transition, so welcome! Ah! Welcome to a return of the ANP monthly live stream. This is something that I've been wanting to do, especially... I just couldn't figure out quite how to do it, especially when, well, halfway through last year, I officially made the switch over on the main channel to my YouTube, to that channel being exclusively history related. But, you know, there's other stuff that I desperately wanted to do. I desperately wanted, you know, to do things like Fat Man, Little Boy. What are we talking about? I wanted to bring that back, as well as these monthly live streams, and I want a place to talk about Star Trek with my friend Jim and stuff like that. So I've taken what was originally the ANP archive, which, by the way, all those videos are still available on here, and I've now rebranded it to ANP TV, which this is a variety channel. Anything that's not history related is now going to be up on this channel. So it's going to be a little more variety. So stuff is still going to go here. I plan on launching the ANP gaming channel as well. Right now it's under the brand of Captain Adam and the 4th New Jersey. I'm rebranding that channel to being just exclusively generically ANP gaming content, not just 4th New Jersey, not just War of Rights content anymore. But I thought it was fitting that for my first guest on the resurrection of the ANP monthly live streams, I wanted to have my friend Antonio.
Boogity boogity boo, it's a jump scare! Hello everybody, and welcome! I'm here, ANP TV, we're finally doing it. We got new things on the channel, it's gonna be good. And you said erection, and that made me laugh a little.
I said erection?
Yeah, resurrection.
Jesus Christ. That's a stretch, my friend.
It sure isn't. I heard it with my ears.
Resurrection. It is funny, though. It is kind of funny, though, because I have found now, on multiple occasions now, without even realizing it, cases where I can actually use the term erected in my writing.
And it's not funny.
Every time I get, I smile a little bit every time I can fit that word in there.
Erection. Fantastic. Erection.
Not erection, erected.
You erected my erection.
Which, yes, and for those of you who don't have basic English, erected just means to make vertical.
Boy, howdy, am I vertical right now.
I am so hard right now that I'm afraid that I'm going to have a priapism. Anyways, welcome, Antonio. Welcome to ANP TV.
A what?
You don't know what priapism is?
I'm too stupid for that one.
Okay, so a priapism is, you know how on like the erectile dysfunction commercials you'll hear, hey, warning, go to your doctor if you have an erection for longer than 4 hours?
Yeah.
He's nodding, everybody. Well, that is because you're not supposed to have an erection for longer than, for an exorbitant amount of time, right? It's actually unhealthy for that to happen.
Than 4 hours?
Yes, extremely unhealthy.
This is going to have to be a less than 4 hour live stream. I'm going to warn you right now.
Yes. I'm aware. I'm in the same boat as you, Antonio.
Yeah. It's for our health, honestly.
Right. Honestly. I took the blue pill. It's fine.
We're
ready to go.
I took the pink pill.
Oh, you went all out. Oh, wow. I'm shocked. But anyways, a priapism is when the erection just won't go away. It's just not going away. The blood is staying within your peni, and you actually have to have it drained to make your erection go away.
How do they drain it?
Usually with one of those, it's a needle. It's a needle like they usually use for like draining fluids.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Not pretty.
Yeah,
Not
probably
pretty.
no.
And I don't imagine feels great either. And I've heard that priapisms are unbelievably painful. And you know, I don't want anything to hurt around that area at all.
No, I'd like to keep that a strictly pleasure zone.
Exactly.
No other.
Exactly.
I don't want it to feel pain, uncomfortable. I don't even want it to feel hot or cold.
I'm going to have to fight you on that one. I like it feeling hot.
I like a warm penis.
I like a good warm penis. Yeah. I don't like it when it has its own ecosystem going on down there, but
yeah, when it starts growing mushrooms, I kind of know it's time to shower.
When it starts turning into one of the monsters from The Last of Us, I know it's time to take a shower, right?
When I use a little microscope and I start seeing like little animal ecosystems starting to grow, like like the little mini animals from like Spy Kids 2.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's 100% what I'm visualizing down there. Yeah.
Elephants and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my.
Yeah. And I don't want Steve Buscemi overlooking me too while we're looking at that. Not one bit. Not one
of those eyes.
What did you walk into? Welcome to an A&P monthly live stream.
You've done it. You've made it, and I hope you regret it.
Yeah, I gotta say, I hope you regret it as well. Bro, crazy things. I'm not sure who either of you two are. If any of you happen to be
from my audience,
are they from your? Then you should know this already.
It's so true.
You should know this.
Yeah, if
who's my
they
guest.
frequent my live streams quite a lot, they should know how fucking cursed.
Jesus, mother, you guys are freaking pussies, man. Pussies. Anyways, Antonio, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I've been chilling. Had a wonderfully calm Christmas by just being home, watching a fantastic Christmas classic. I hope you've heard of it. It's called The Grinch That Stole Bitches.
I'm sorry, Antonio. I just noticed the GIF you have playing in the background. And I vastly approve. I vastly approve.
Thank you. I felt like I needed to have something that really represented me in the background.
Yeah, well, it's because you can't see it on the split screen, so I'm so used to looking at this. And suddenly, when I pulled you up full screen, that's all I see, and I'm like,
You're
"That's
like, whoa!
Look at that! Look at that ass! Whoa!" I like this comment. You'll get used to their antics, or not.
That's
or not.
So fucking true.
It is very true. But you had a good Christmas.
Yes, it was very calm. I watched The Grinch That Stole Bitches. It was a very funny movie, a very terrible movie. Free on Tubi if you want to watch it.
See, I could have sworn that was a softcore porno, but I was wrong.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of booty shaking in that movie.
We do like a lot of booty shaking.
There's a lot of booty shaking.
I do love seeing a nice twink ass.
Unfortunately, there are no twinks in this movie.
Damn.
Just women.
Just women.
Just women.
Just women. Okay.
Is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The acting is terrible. The writing is terrible. The way it's filmed is terrible. And it was one of the most fun movies I've ever seen in my life.
Isn't it great when you see that? I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was reminiscing about it. Because somebody who I'm becoming rather friendly with was curious about some of the films I made earlier in my life, in a different lifetime. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. Do you remember this guy that made like I think it was like something about like the Long Island serial killer or something like that, and he played it at the Luminaries?
It was called Gilgo.
Yes,
it was someone that went to our college.
Yeah, it wasn't the Long Island. It wasn't Lisk. It was the Gilgo.
Yeah, the Gilgo Beach Killer or something like that.
And I was thinking about that for some reason. Like, for some reason, that just popped into my head. And I remember because he felt so bad because afterward, he was like, everybody was laughing at my movie, which I want to be clear, it was a terrible.
Yeah, it was not a good movie.
It made our stuff look like fucking Steven Spielberg made it, right? But I remember I pulled him aside because he was so upset. I pulled him aside and I said this genuinely. And you mentioning this about the Grinch That Stole Bitches, maybe just reminded me of it. I told him, you turned that auditorium into a fucking wrestling audience. We were cheering, we were standing, we were screaming, we were laughing, we were crying because of how into this we were. Be proud of that. Like, everything else was like a total like snore.
Well, because
fest.
like, all right, so like our fucking school's film festival, right? The film school that we went to, there was so much pretentious film student film garbage. Like I always like when we made Eggs, it was just parodying everything.
Yes,
that
it was.
All of those movies were, where it's just like, yeah, I can also film someone in front of a black flag, so that it seems like there's no background, and just have them stare at the camera and look a little sad. And like, that doesn't make a fucking movie. That doesn't make an entertaining film. It doesn't make me feel anything. You want to know what happens when I see 6 of those in a row? I get fucking bored, and I want something else. That's why I refused to really make anything art house and whatever. And the one time that I did, I failed, and that's okay. But the thing is,
we're both saying this as people who have made garbage.
I've
garbage,
hot garbage, hot fucking garbage. But here's the thing, right? Is that when Gilgo came on, and it had me, it affected us so much because it was just not that film. It was not that kind of film where it was like this art house trying to be deep, but you actually have the mindset of a 14-year-old and what they think is deep. It was just genuine from the heart. They tried to tell this story, and even though they failed, you can tell that he put his whole fucking chest in it. And that's what makes it fun.
It is 100% what made that entire thing fun. I mean, I had tears coming down my face because I was laughing so hard. And I remember at one point I stood and shouted, like, yeah, give him the chair. And it was like the audience was going absolutely berserk. It was wonderful, and it was such a can of fresh air. And I'm like, dude, just embrace that.
Yeah.
Just embrace that. Try your hardest on the next film that you make. Don't get me wrong. Don't keep trying to do your best. Don't try to make another sloppy thing, but do it on purpose this time.
Because that's how you
keep
get
doing
Birdemic too.
Yeah, that's how you do the Birdemic series. But you brought more entertainment in that one moment than almost all of those other movies.
Yeah.
Made.
Legitimately.
Like, fucking be proud of that, dude.
And to really show how good it was, right? In that sense. We're talking about it now.
Yes, I will never forget watching that film.
I don't remember a specific single film other than that.
Other than the ones that we made, I can't really remember anything.
I don't remember which ones. Like, I think like Slurp was there.
Slurp, Acipatwaphibum,
yeah,
and my film as well played there. But it was those, and there was a couple of others there.
Yeah.
As well.
Eggs, I think.
I think Eggs played, which had the reaction I was hoping it would. The same with the Slurping Suicide. I loved the collective
yeah,
at the very beginning of the film.
But it's like, I really think this is true because it happens so many times, right? Where if you are passionate about what you make and you're having the time of your life making it, no matter how good or bad the film is, I think people can just tell. Because there's just like an energy.
I genuinely agree with you. That even if the film doesn't come off very high quality, if there's a passion there behind it, I think you can see that. And that's one of the things that I love about director George Romero so much, especially with Dawn of the Dead, because I was obsessed with that film for a while, and I'm still obsessed with that because of a new history video I'm in the process of making about the making of Dawn of the Dead. And I saw somebody in the comments on one of his videos call him the blue-collar auteur. Because if you watch his movies, they're not very artistic. And a lot of his shots are, we're just going to put the camera here and film. We're not going to be really creative with the lighting. We're just going to blast light all over the place because we got to shoot a lot in like 2 minutes. Very low budget and everything like that. But yet when you watch it all cobbled together in the editing room, you really feel a filmmaker at work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wonderful. And I watch a lot of the slop made today, which to me, you know, the directors are completely interchangeable now, to the point that I think directors are going to be AI for all of these big giant Marvel-esque sized movies pretty soon. Yeah. And it's refreshing to watch something made by somebody who doesn't have that huge budget. I mean, look at it, it'll never not put a smile on my face knowing that Godzilla -1 had a budget of less than $15 million. And it beat out every Marvel and DC movie that came out over here. It was the sleeper hit, and everybody loved it, and it won the Academy Award, and it so fucking deserved it. Speaking of that, also, it really tickles my pickle that a show like Heated Rivalry, which was a very low-budget 6-episode show that only they shot in 30 days, was funded completely in Canada, made completely in Canada, very low budget, beat Stranger Things. Which I have not watched anything other than the first season of Stranger Things, and I've seen trailers for it. And I'm like, this looks like the most overbloated piece of shit I have ever fucking seen.
Yeah, I'm very much not interested.
I'm not interested. I'm not. Meanwhile, you have something like Heated Rivalry, which is a very simple story and very low budget, and it blew up. It's the best fucking thing I've seen since Chernobyl. And you know how much I love fucking Chernobyl.
Oh, I know
that fucking show.
Chernobyl.
First off, if you haven't seen Chernobyl, fucking watch that show. That is a phenomenal show. God damn. It's amazing what you can do if you just have passion.
Yeah.
About whatever it is that you're making.
Which circles back to The Grinch That Stole Bitches.
Of course. The greatest cinematic masterpiece of all time.
Dead ass, right? I can tell. And they do the typical like amateur filmmaker thing where they like rolling the credits, and of course during the credits they show all the bloopers.
Right.
They look like they're having the fucking time of their lives just because of the fact that they're making a movie.
God,
and that's
I miss
awesome.
that. I do miss that. I do kind of miss that, where we just decide to make one thing, not a series, but like one thing that is just so fucking stupid. It's only going to be like a 2-minute long movie or short film.
I mean,
it's
hell,
so retarded.
Do you remember the one we shot for our directing class where we were making it up basically on the fucking spot?
Oh, it's terrible, but it was fun. But
it was so funny.
It was funny.
It was like, what was it called? It was like something of ass cancer or something.
Yeah, I think it was literally just called ass cancer. Yeah. And it's just because the character took a shit. He never took a shit before in his life, apparently. and I just love the collective on the spot. We hated Depola. For no reason, Depola, who is a wonderful human being, we just decided for the sake of the film, nice, we're going to hate his guts. No matter what he does, we're going to hate him.
You spit take on him. You kept telling him to shut up. I think even because I think I was behind the camera that one, right?
Yes, you were. You did a great job, by the way, on that. I loved the kind of frantic camera movement of that whole thing.
I remember thinking too, it's like, if we're going with the bit that Depola is like the butt monkey of like the film, I remember thinking like, I want to make it so that even the camera prefers them over Depola.
These are the great directorial decisions we make on the fly.
And I'm not a DP at all.
Oh, I've become a DP. I've become one, mainly because I've been shooting my own shit. But it is kind of crazy how much I feel like that was another life.
Yeah.
You know, that was another life. Kind of plays. I always start thinking about this shit around the new year. I always do, and I look back at some of the stuff, and I'm like, oh, that was great. That was terrible. I should have done this. I should have done that.
Yeah.
You look at some regrets that you have. You look at some of the successes that you've had, and everything like that. And this year was no different.
Yeah, definitely.
This year was no different. And I there's one thing that I collectively always get kind of sentimental about around the New Year's, and that is ever since I moved away from you guys, how much I miss you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I've been really feeling it this year, like just how much I miss specifically you, Jim, Jenny, and Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
And I just missed the nights that we would hang out and just fucking shoot the shit until 2:00 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
And just chill. Because I don't really have that here anymore. Except for a couple of people. And it's one of the reasons why one of my New Year's resolutions this year was kind of opening up actually using my Discord and saying, let's try to watch movies and laugh at movies and be stupid.
I mean, hell, we watched Mechagodzilla and what was the other one?
Hedorah.
The Smog Monster.
Smog Monster, which was a fucking... I forgot how much of a trip that movie was because it'd been years since I'd actually sat down and watched that movie full through, and what a fucking trip that movie
is. And it's definitely one of those movies where you just lose any sense of time passing.
Yeah, the movie's only like an hour and 20 minutes long, and yet it both feels shorter and longer than that simultaneously.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful ride of a film. And then we watched the other end of the spectrum of that. We watched Mechagodzilla, the original, which is just so much fun.
Oh yeah.
It does not take itself seriously, even remotely.
No.
And just says, have at
it. But to circle back to what we were talking about, I also, I get the same way. We are very similar, you and I.
Oh, I never would have
guessed. Yeah. Where, I was thinking about, every so often I'm like, I really don't like, I make stuff for GCN all the time, but like when it comes to like making like films, it's like, I really don't do that anymore. And right. One of the things that I always think of is I was like, man, when Adam moved away, that really just stopped completely.
I was
like, you were such a driving force of like creativity, truly. Yeah, you better fucking cry, you bitch, you fucking pussy.
I was a little worried about that. I was, because I was like, oh fuck, are these guys just gonna not make shit anymore because all of a sudden I'm gone? And even if I wasn't in the director's chair of what we were doing, I would end up being a producer in some way, trying to organize this shit and trying to get things going. Plus, I had all that equipment as well. And it was, don't get me wrong. I am overall happy I moved. I love Maine. I've always loved Maine. I'm glad that I can finally go hunting again. I've reconnected with a few of my older friends here again, and it's been wonderful reconnecting with them. Now we're making documentaries, and we're fucking going to Virginia this year to go battlefield hopping and possibly talk with one of my favorite directors of all time, Ronald Maxwell. And I'm like, to be quite honest, that probably wouldn't have happened. That opportunity itself wouldn't have happened had I stayed in New York.
Yeah.
But I cannot deny how much I miss you guys. I miss my crew.
Yeah. And I miss having you around as well. Just the random days that you would, ride the train, come on over here. I'd be playing some fuck-ass Sonic game.
me desperately trying to follow what is going on.
You wondering what the fuck I see in this franchise.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
and I love how it was like the worst Sonic game.
It was not a good.
It's not the worst. It's not the
worst. It's not the best either.
It's a very repetitive
One day I'll have you sit through what I think is the best one.
Which one do
And
you
see
think
what
is the
you
best
think.
one?
Sonic Adventure 2.
Yes. I know it had 2 in the title. I couldn't remember.
That one I think is the best one, truly. And that's the one I grew up with. That's the one that made me love the franchise.
Speaking of games that I grew up with, I was recently rediscovering my love of all of the old modern Medal of Honor and Call of Duty games from the PlayStation 2 era, which I still think is the best console, is the PlayStation 2.
Oh,
I
undisputably.
Yeah. And,
I like the GameCube, but PS2 is really good.
I never had a GameCube. I know several of my friends who had one, and they swear by it, right? And I probably would have liked it too if maybe I was a little more into the games that were coming out on the GameCube. Because I remember that being a thing. I had an option. My mother's like, you can either have the PlayStation 2 or you can have a GameCube. And I went with the PlayStation 2 because my friends were playing World War II first-person shooters.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's really up my fucking... That's my alley.
Yeah. No, like, logistically, if you do have the choice between the PS2 and the GameCube, PS2 all the way. Do you know how many fucking games are for the PS2?
Yeah. A lot.
I think it still has the world record for the console that has the most games made for it.
Does it really? Okay. I didn't know that.
Because every company on the fucking planet was making stuff for the PS2, because it is still, I think, currently the best-selling console ever made.
Well, it's a very simple console. And I remember the most tedious thing about the console was constantly having to get a bigger memory stick.
Yeah.
For it. And I'm like, wow, no online subscriptions.
Nope.
No, none of that horse shit.
And not only that, it's also a DVD player.
It was also a DVD. That was actually the predominant reason for a while. That's the only reason why I kept my PlayStation 3 for so long. Was because it was also a Blu-ray player.
Yep. That's actually why I bought it at first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought it because...
it makes sense for you because you're such a gamer plus that too. And to me, that would make sense.
Well, because what I originally actually didn't want one. I didn't want a PS3.
Ah, okay.
But because I already had a 360.
Mm-hmm. So
I was like, I don't really need it, and it's not going to give me anything more than what the 360 is giving me. And it's also, at that time, the Xbox 360 was like a $300 purchase, and the PS3, when it first came out, was very infamously $600.
Yes, I do remember that.
So it was like, why would I spend that much money, or why would I have my parents spend that much money?
But what I saw, that's what my parents were hesitant about too. I remember that as well, and why I had to wait. I think it was like a year and a half before I could finally get a PlayStation 3, and I bought it myself. That's one reason why I loved it so much. Actually, was because it was one of the first really big purchases I bought exclusively for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla Kiru, you mentioned in the comments here. Let me pull up the chat screen if I can fucking find it. There we are. I remember playing one of the Medal of Honor games. It was the one, I already know which one this is. It was the one where the first mission was D-Day, and I kept getting stuck. Yeah, that was Frontline.
I have that one. I played that one.
Frontline, Antonio, I'm not kidding, is one of the best games ever fucking made. And I gotta tell you, it is definitely of its time.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. It is, having now played it again, it is definitely of its time. But I have never played a more atmospheric game than Medal of Honor Frontline. Ever. Even horror. The atmosphere of Medal of Honor Frontline is so peak. And honestly, it's the glue that holds what is otherwise just a very loose game together. And it was because of the music specifically the music by Michael Giacchino, before he became a huge deal. He was doing the music for those games, including the first Call of Duty game for the console. And there's 2 missions in particular on Medal of Honor Frontline that blow me away in terms of atmosphere. One is, I think the level is called After the Drop, and you've just parachuted your way into Belgium. And there is this weird, the music that underscores that entire level is this little boy singing.
Mhm.
Just a very melancholic song. And meanwhile, you're still fighting Germans and everything like that. You'd expect something a little more action-packed. But it's not. It is this harrowing, somber piece of music that fits the quiet bridges throughout that entire mission. And it makes you realize you're killing all of these people. And it adds impact to what you're doing. And then it's even amplified tenfold in a mission called Arnhem Nights, which is you're in the Battle of Arnhem, which was a horrible disaster for us, for the Allies, where it was basically like 3,000 British were completely trapped by a bunch of Germans. It has one of my favorite final lines in history, which was the last message to come out of Arnhem was the second command. He said, "Out of ammo, we'll fight to the last. God save the king." That was the last message to come out of Arnhem. And that's another one of those missions where you're in the middle of a city and it's like blown all to hell, and you're shooting Germans everywhere, and you're trying to save your own team members, these British soldiers that are all trapped everywhere, and they're fighting in the streets and craters, and it's great. And you expect this unbelievably action-packed music like you would hear today, something like by Hans Zimmer, something of that nature. And instead, it's another one of those pieces of music where it's this little boy singing, almost an angelic voice, and it's a very slow, somber piece of music. And the juxtaposition between what you're having to do and the action in the level with that music, perfection. It is utter perfection. And I could not... games, just in my humble opinion, particularly war games, especially post World at War, don't have that same level of atmosphere anymore.
Yeah. There are a couple games where, like, from back then, where I'm like, even if it's like that, what the tone that they're going for is just pure cartoon funny, or just even kidsy, right? It's like, for some reasons, like, there's something about, like, I would say it started with like PlayStation 1 / N64, and probably up to right before the Wii for me, where I'm like, there's something about that particular era of games that they just did it different.
They did.
Like the music, the visuals, how it all blended together. And I think it's because it was the real beginning of like 3D, like video games as a whole. And because the technology really wasn't there for it to look like how it fucking does now, where they essentially look like real fucking people, uh, they were limited to make things look stylized and artistic, and they needed the music to really accentuate everything that was fucking happening in the game. That now that they don't have to do that anymore, they feel like they don't have to.
Well, there's also plenty of examples where I can counter that and say that the fact that a scene doesn't have music, adds more of an impact to it.
Yeah.
But
well,
the key is that back then they knew
that lack of soundtrack
is a soundtrack.
Still, yeah.
Kind of deal. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. There's one movie that does it exceptionally well. But I would agree with you. And that was even the era where I still remember the first time I played King Kong, the official game of the movie, and being like, this game has no fucking right to be this good.
This good. Yeah.
To be this fucking good. It's still by far the best movie to video game adaptation I could think of, is that. Because I know that there were several made in around that period. You don't really see it anymore, I don't think.
No, definitely. That is a bygone era.
Yeah. Yeah. I hated the Lord of the Rings ones. Oh my god, they were so bad.
So, Don't get me started. So many licensed games are so fucking. I mean, half of the fucking Angry Video Game Nerds episodes are about licensed games.
Don't you find that really funny? That the Angry Video Game Nerd loves talking about movies almost more than anything else.
Oh, yeah.
It's his love of movies. Meanwhile, Doug Walker, who reviews movies, fucking loves playing games. He's not good at it, but he loves playing games. But he likes playing it.
I mean, if there was one thing, because I check into his live streams every so often, there's one thing I didn't expect Doug Walker to be playing. It was Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I heard that he was doing that. I have so much respect for Doug Walker. Like there was a little while there, and I remember when the Change the Channel document came out, where I remember it was I really kind of like lost respect for him. But then more information started coming out.
Yeah.
Because of that document, and suddenly I was like, nah, I don't think I like the nostalgia critic at all. But when it's just Doug Walker being Doug Walker,
yeah, I appreciate it a lot more.
I like it. Like I love the videos he does with Brad Jones.
Yeah.
Where they sometimes will just laugh and talk about movies. And I respect any creator that has a good sense of humor about themselves.
Oh yeah. I mean, the classic example is the Oni Plays stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Where, the nostalgia critic saw that, Oni Plays make fun of him being like, oh my God, I'm the nostalgia critic. And
Which
he's
is
like,
hysterical.
Oh, yeah.
Hysterical.
And he's just like, that's just funny. Funny's funny. He's like,
I sound like that. I sound like that. I don't know.
He's like, I just sound like that. It's true. And even, Oni Plays has a show on their channel called Slightly Artistic, where they just draw. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I know it. I know. I fucking love that title.
And, they like just kind of like doodle stuff and just talk for an hour. And they had Doug Walker on, and it was a really cool episode.
Yeah.
It was just a chill vibe.
I love that.
Had fucking Linkara.
Oh, God.
Who is like, yeah, those son of a bitches keep calling me the light bringer. Fuck them.
Fuck them. God damn. Isn't it kind of crazy how, and I don't know, this kind of struck me. I was having a conversation with a work colleague. I wouldn't really call him a friend, but we talk at work because we tend to be next to each other. About how a lot of our older YouTube inspirations are like people that we kind of not necessarily looked up to, but creatively we're like, I kind of want to emulate that.
Yeah.
How many of them turned out to be horrible, horrible people.
It is fascinating.
Isn't it fascinating?
Often it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about like classic YouTube, right? Like the big celebrities, if you want to call them that, of YouTube, and you get people like Shane Dawson and Colleen Ballinger. You get I feel like truly like and even if they don't get canceled completely, they had like a moment too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel like the only one who really didn't was James Rolfe.
I was going to say, I think it was James Rolfe, and I think the Nostalgia Critic kind of almost did. And then he managed to squeak himself out of it, because that was a whole shitty fucking thing. But even the whole thing with Juwario, which I knew a lot of people loved some of his stuff, and suddenly it came out that happened. I'm like, holy fucking shit, these fucking degenerates.
Yeah. Is fucked up.
And I always I laugh at it because I'm like, I do fucked up shit all the time. Especially in the bedroom. But I always laugh at this and go, my God, are they all perverts?
Yeah.
Like, are literally all of my fucking inspirations and shit, including Hollywood, are they all messed up, perverted scumbags? And the answer turned out to be pretty universally.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, probably.
And that has honestly killed me inside. It just has, because it's like now I can't and I don't want to look up to anybody.
Yeah.
It's like all I have are my very close friends that I can kind of look up to. And this might sound arrogant, but I'm not meaning it to sound arrogant. Really, yourself. It's like you have to be your own kind of drive and inspiration to keep trying to go.
I actually had to go through that recently where I was... So I'm not going to name them.
Oh no.
But if you watch my channel, you probably know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about. Yes. Okay.
Where there was a YouTuber that highly, highly inspired me. In fact, the way that I structure all of my videos, especially the retrospectives, is basically an homage to how he used to do things. And then a couple of years back, he ended up getting canceled for something. And it basically almost made me lose all want to do anything. And that was like kind of like almost the catalyst to what would then become a very depressive spell that I then had to spend the last year digging myself out of.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Can I remember the name? No, but I know who you're talking about because I remember you talking about him and showing me some of his stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's very you. It's an awful feeling. It is a really awful feeling to have that happen. I had that with the Amazing Atheist because I used to love doing the loud ranting.
Yeah.
About a movie or something like that. Like you look at fucking my old channel, Chopper Pilot 5, and some of my movie rants I did on that channel, clearly you could tell who I was emulating.
Mm-hmm.
And then look what happened there.
I don't think I've watched him. I'll tell you exactly when I stopped watching him. It was when the Drunken Peasants split up.
Yes.
That was when I stopped watching.
Yeah, because I used to be... This is actually kind of interesting, talking about how like you kind of change as you grow up and you mature and stuff like that, and then stuff that used to influence you suddenly doesn't influence you anymore, kind of deal. But when I was in college, it's really funny that since graduating college and since moving, how much more relaxed I've been on certain opinions of things. Like when I was in college, I used to be very, very, very conservative, ironically, about a lot of shit, fiscally, socially, and a bunch of other things, right? With a couple of exceptions. But as I've sort of grown up and matured and sort of realized that there's all sorts of different types of people and everything like that, I've grown more liberal on several things as I've grown older. And one of the things that I remember being huge about, and I remember John actually was the one that got me in on this, was the anti-SJW movement.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be clear, everybody, I am still pretty anti-SJW, even though I don't really think it's morphed into something else. Because I don't like the restriction of language. That's the main reason why I'm still there.
So,
but at the same time...
when I personally think, to make it more clear, I guess, when I personally think like SJW, I'm not thinking about like liberals in general, like a lot of people seem to kind of...
A lot of people do.
Pull them into. I think of like the ridiculous extreme of those ideals.
Yes. Yeah. Like I used to love the SJW cringe compilations, and now they're they're just cringe. I can't watch them anymore.
A lot of that, yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of that, and I think John is in a similar boat because him and I used to fucking... That's how we bonded for quite a while.
I think us too, because we, to name a couple people, like we were watching like the Drunken Peasants at that time. We were watching like Shoe on Head. We were watching Chris Ray Gun.
Yep.
Armored Skeptic, I think, was another big one.
And there's a lot of those too, because I remember there was a lot of those anti-SJW sort of conservative, quote-unquote, YouTubers that were coming up around that time. One of them was Milo Yiannopoulos, who I was all over, because here was this gay guy, who coined the term Daddy Trump, which I thought was the funniest fucking thing I had ever fucking heard. And And I was like, finally, you know, a gay guy who has who has a right-wing opinion on stuff, I kind of want to look up to him. And then he turned out to be a horrible, horrible douchebag.
Oh, yeah.
Horrible douchebag.
Oh, yeah, he's awful.
And the same with Steven Crowder as well. I never liked Steven Crowder because I thought he was trying too hard. But now it's almost gone. What I've noticed is it's almost gone the other way, where it's like suddenly all those who are screaming about the snowflakes have themselves become snowflakes.
1,000%.
Yeah, and it's like no. You can't have your cake and eat it too, sir. You can't scream free speech, and then suddenly when it's used against you, you can't suddenly scream no more free speech. And that's how it's shifted. Since then, my entire view on the matter has completely shifted.
I think it has 1,000% to do with that. Just be a rational human being for once. You know, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to go back to 2016 for a second, is having a hula girl bobblehead on the front of your Uber really that big of a deal? But then on the other side of things, if, I don't know, there's like this Dr. Seuss book that has something that you don't think is for kids in it, is it that big of a deal?
Well, no. And that's the whole thing is I've definitely become somebody who is very anti-censorship, period.
Yes.
Like straight across the board, whether I agree with what's being censored or not, I'm very anti-censorship.
Yeah.
And, you know, the whole book thing that happened in recent years, where it used to be, and again, it's so interesting, the shift. How it used to be, as a historian, I find this fascinating. I find this shift fascinating. It used to be the woke, quote-unquote, SJW movement was calling for the banning of certain books, like stuff by Mark Twain and stuff like that. I remember that being a huge fucking deal because it used the N-word, or it used offensive language in it, and a bunch of books are being banned for doing that. And then it was the conservatives who were kind of more like, no, those need to be kept in school. Those have good morals in them. It has tough language, but that's how they spoke. And stuff like that. And then about 3 years ago, it shifted completely, where suddenly it was now the conservatives calling for the banning of certain books within schools, usually because they had a sexual undertone. A book has somewhat of a sexual undertone throughout the entire thing, which, as far as I'm concerned, what normal book kind of doesn't. But and suddenly I'm like, no.
Undertones in my green eggs and ham.
I love the sexual undertones in green eggs.
I mean, think about it, like green eggs, ham.
Do you
Really
think the green eggs were century eggs?
Were they? They weren't really green though. They were like black.
The century eggs? Well, the yolk was definitely green.
The yolk was green.
Yeah.
But like when you look at green eggs and ham in the book, it's like still a white yolk.
Is it?
Then it looks like a fried egg too.
Okay. So confirmed, not century eggs.
Not century. We'll figure out what kind of eggs they are. Stay tuned to Dr. Seuss theory.
Yes, definitely stay tuned. Stay tuned to this.
What
were we talking about?
Politics.
The fuck were we talking about?
All joking aside, that would be an amazing either episode of this, like the monthly live streams, or like what are we talking about, where it's like you have to come in with like a theory about a Dr. Seuss book and you have to prove it.
You have to prove it? Oh, Jesus Christ.
That would be a good episode.
It would be funny. Yeah, it would be funny. I love overanalyzing things that shouldn't be overanalyzed. It's so much fun. It is so much fun doing that.
I legitimately think that's most of what I watch on YouTube.
We had a show when I was a part of the Sons of. This is the first podcast group I was ever part of. They were called the Sons of Sarazawa, which was a character from the Godzilla. We were all Godzilla geeks and stuff like that. And we came up with the idea because we were spoofing a movie. We had the idea to spoof a movie called Room 237, which was about all of the crazy conspiracy theories around what The Shining was actually about, including the Apollo 11 moon landings or whatever.
Yeah. I remember seeing clips from that movie and being absolutely fucking blown away at how wild these fucking like theories were.
I loved that documentary. I was absorbed by that documentary because I think the conspiracy theories in it are fucking insane. But two, I love how it doesn't mock them in any way. It just says this is what they think it's about.
Yeah.
It doesn't mock them at all, and it's a wonderfully put together documentary. They also did a documentary about sleep paralysis too. That was terrifying, but whatever. And I said to the members of the Sons of Sarazawa, we are going to do this about the worst Godzilla movie ever, Godzilla's Revenge. And we're like, well, we have to come up with a catchy title for it. Well, there's a character named Shinpei who owns a toy shop, so we're going to call it Shinpei's Toy Shop. And we were going to go through the film meticulously and give different theories about what the movie is actually about, because Ishiro Honda is the king of allegory, the director. He's the master of allegory, right? And one of them was it was nothing but a commentary about the evils of Vietnam. There was another one where I said it was secretly Ishiro Honda warning Eiji Tsuburaya that the suit actor who played Godzilla is going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
That it was his warning to the special effects director that Haruo Nakajima was going to kill him, because it turned out that Eiji Tsuburaya died less than a year later. And there's a bunch of others, but it was so fucking funny trying to figure out how can I watch this movie frame by frame and somehow work that conspiracy theory into the film.
I will say, if you love that kind of shit, there is a YouTuber that does exactly that, and got very famous off of it, even though he was already kind of famous before. And that YouTuber is named Alex Bale.
Yes.
He got famous, the most famous off of, he did a bunch of theories about SpongeBob.
Oh, this guy.
Yes. But now that the Muse series is over, he just makes theories about fucking anything. Like, he's done like Blue's Clues, the Cocoa Puffs bird. I think he did Teletubbies. And like, it is endlessly fascinating to me that I watch one of these theories, right? And he'll tell you the premise, like right off the gate, like this is what the theory is. And it sounds like the most ridiculous thing on the planet, but he is so good at making it so convincing.
I love it when they can do that.
It is fascinating how they do it.
And it's really, I think it speaks a lot to the human nature, how somebody can do that, and suddenly you're like, oh, maybe he's right.
Like, I think it was like he was with the Blue's Clues one, for example. Mm-hmm. The premise of that is that, you know, Blue's Clues is hosted by Steve Burns.
Mm-hmm.
And before Blue's Clues, there was an episode of Law and Order that had Steve Burns as one of the characters.
Right.
And the entire theory is proving that those two are the same character, and that the entirety of Blue's Clues is in the mind of this Law and Order's character.
See, I'd be all over that. I'd be all over that. I'd be like, what is your logic? I want to hear this.
Or even how the one about the Cocoa Puffs bird is like the Cocoa Puff, I think his name is Sonny. Sonny's family is purposefully keeping him addicted to Cocoa Puffs because there's a war going on.
Oh, of course. Of course.
It's like, it's the craziest shit.
You didn't know about this?
No, I didn't know that.
You didn't know about this?
Yeah. I guess I just didn't see every commercial, you know?
No. There's a cinematic universe before the cinematic universes really became a thing. It was the Cocoa Puffs. Yeah.
The General Mills cinematic universe.
Yes, it's my favorite cinematic universe, actually. Fucking Godzilla, eat your heart out.
In before, I'm probably wrong about that, and it's either Post or Kellogg's.
Who the fuck knows? I can't do that. You know who would know, like off the top of their head, fucking Oliver.
Oh yeah,
Oliver would know immediately. He loves that shit.
I could, yeah.
Yeah. But it is kind of crazy how much you can kind of work things in. That being said, there's some stuff that I've seen where the overanalyzation is a good thing. Because there's some things that I've seen. There's one show I saw recently that it's directed within an inch of its life.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually made me appreciate filmmaking again because of the amount of detail. Whoops, wrong. That's
I'm not talking.
And it was I'll fucking say it. I don't fucking care. It was Heated Rivalry, which is the amount of parallels from beginning of that show to the end of the show. Things that will pop up. It's one of those shows where it's like if you blink, you're going to miss a detail that comes up later.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And a part of that is the film structure, or is the show structure. Since instead of it taking place over the course of like a year, no, it's fucking 9 years. Which blew my mind. I was not expecting that at all. So you go from these characters being, 18-year-olds going all the way to them being about 30 years old. And that's a long time.
Yeah.
And a lot changes in that time. So you see these characters become more and more kind of mature about who they are and what they want as the show kind of progresses. And one of my favorite visual mimics of the film that I did not catch until I rewatched it was the fact that there are all these wide shots in the film of the two characters. And over the course of the show, they slowly inch closer toward each other until they're finally sitting side by side. From beginning to end, there's all these little shots. There's little dialogue pieces that will pop up in the first episode, which will then come back in a later episode that explains why these characters are making this decision. That foreshadow that this character is going to make a dumb decision or a smart decision here, and it's already foreshadowed way back in the beginning. There's reactions that characters have that set up that this is how they're going to react later in the show. And it's so brilliantly done. Even the lighting, Antonio. There's callbacks to the lighting. How in the beginning of the show, whenever the two characters meet up, it's in this very deliberately dark, dingy lighting. Because it's taboo what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So by the end, they are now together in bright sunlight with tons of windows right out in the open. Everything's right there. And that slow shift throughout the entire series to that is brilliant. There's another little leitmotif as well, where in the first episode, the two characters are giving a press conference. And one of them is very clearly nervous about the whole fucking thing. Terrified about the whole thing. He's not used to having cameras all over him. Well, his love interest under the table just kind of taps his foot on the other one. It's just a very minor touch, and it was just enough to give him the confidence to keep going. Only for the last episode, the inverse happens. and I'm like, that's fucking what the fuck? Fuck
that's
you.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Stop that is fucking brilliant. And on top of that, the acting in this fucking thing, I did it again. The acting in this fucking show, the character that plays Shane Hollander in particular, the amount this guy is able to emote with his face. Because one of the biggest difficulties I've discovered with when you're adapting a book to a film is that the great thing that you have about a book is you get their internal monologue.
Yeah.
Movies, you don't have that. You have to tell it without telling it. You have to show it.
Yeah. Or else it seems a little ham-fisted.
Yes, very ham-fisted, which is usually what ends up happening, especially in something that has to do with a romance. With Shane, that actor, he doesn't have to say a fucking word. And the way how his eyes and his face will kind of contort ever so fucking slightly, you know immediately what the fuck he's thinking and how he's going about it. There is this one scene, and this is another thing that I want to talk about. And one of the reasons why I loved it so much is I finally felt like it was an actual gay story and not a gay story written for how women want gay men to act, which is very common. You can call me misogynistic all you want. It's very common. There's a great scene where the character Ilya, who is Russian, is talking about how he doesn't want to go home to Russia. He wants to stay there. And he's like, well, in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to figure out a way that my passport renews. Normally, you'd go back to Russia, then you get it renewed, and then you come back. He doesn't want to do that. And he says they're trying to find out solutions for how to do this. And he says, I could marry my friend Svetlana. She's an American. That would immediately get me the proper documentations I need to become a citizen. And the camera lingers on Shane, who is madly in love with Ilya. And over the course of this, you see him go from happy to angry to terrified. And you slowly see tears kind of welling up in his eyes. And he swallows. You see the character gulp. And he at one point asks, or he just tells Ilya, don't marry Svetlana, just don't. And I don't know what it was about how simple that dialogue was, but it fucking hit me hard. I'm like, this is the dialogue I like. The dialogue that I truly love, and you can, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, Antonio. The dialogue I write and that I love writing is usually the less said, the better.
Yeah,
between two characters,
because it always brings you so much farther when the character says something very simple that carries a lot of meaning behind it.
Yes. There's another one, too, where if you hear the dialogue and you read the dialogue, it sounds so simple, it sounds so stupid, but the character Ilya is explaining what happened to his mother, which clearly has had a huge impact on his life. His mother, we find out, has killed herself. She killed herself when he was 12, and he was the one that found her. And the way how Ilya says it, and it's this way in the book, too. I want to be clear, because I read the book. The book also has, it's almost verbatim, the dialogue that's in the film. Ilya says he's being held by Shane, and he finally has the courage to confess this to him. He says after 10 years, right? After 10 years of them pining over each other until finally being mature enough to say, let's do this. He confesses to him, this is what happened to my mother. And the I have it written here. The quote is, she was so beautiful, she was so funny, she was so sad, and Dad was so tough on her. I do not want you to think she was weak. And there's something about how simple that is. Like, it's not some long-winded speech about how great his mother was, right?
Yeah.
It's not like flowery in its language, which is something that I often get accused of in my writing, not so much in the dialogue, but in paragraphs describing things. I get too flowery.
Yeah.
With the descriptions. But there's something about that dialogue where I'm like, that said more in just those few short bursts of sentences than you could have had an entire monologue on a page could have done. And I'm like, I love this shit.
That's literally just concise
I
writing.
love this shit.
It's so good. And to compare it to something that I've watched that it might be funny to compare it to this, but a show I'll never shut up about. BoJack Horseman does the same fucking thing.
We're gonna watch it, Antonio. I have it. We're gonna watch it. You and I are gonna sit down and watch it this year. I was gonna mention that. That's on my bucket list for this year.
Good. Because, oh my god, the amount of detail, symbolism, and stuff that's like not, once again, stuff that's not shoved down your throat. Stuff that's like in the background, or like, oh, the intro's a little different this time. You know, usually you skip the Netflix intros. Don't skip this one.
Oh, yeah, you told me about that. There's something about the intros that you don't skip.
Yeah, just don't. One, it's just a great tune, truly.
Okay.
But also, like, it is a little important. But, even, like there's this one scene that literally is one of my favorites in the whole show, and I think it's the ending to season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially BoJack is back to his home. I won't say exactly what he's been doing this whole time, but he's back to his home, and he decides that he's going to try to better himself after everything that's happened. And he starts by just going for a jog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, funny haha things like he's jogging is like, oh my god, this sucks. Holy shit, why did I start going jogging? And he ends up like laying in the grass.
Mm-hmm.
And then this guy walks up to him, and he's like a baboon man. And mind you, this is a character that we've seen in the background, never had any lines, never said anything, not even involved in the story. Just a guy that is just a background character. And he goes up to him and he says, "It gets easier." And he's like, "What?" He's like, "It gets easier, but you got to do it every day. That's the hard part. But it does get easier." And then he runs off, and then you just hear BoJack go, "Okay." And that's the end of the season.
That's the end of the season?
That's the end of the season.
Dude, that would make me cry.
Talking about it sent chills down my spine.
That would make me fucking cry.
It is.
Yeah.
And there is so fucking much of that in BoJack Horseman. Truly. There's a reason it is my favorite show ever. Because it is just...
I'm so excited to watch it. I really am. Because
and
you aren't the only one. You aren't the only one who was screaming at me to watch this. Oliver was screaming at me to watch it. He's been screaming at me to watch this forever. So I'm genuinely excited to check the show out.
There's like a few key episodes where I'm like, I need you to see these episodes.
Yeah.
Free
Don't
Churro
warn me.
Free Churro.
Don't tell me which ones.
I'm not gonna
don't
tell
tell
you
me which ones.
What happens?
Yeah.
I'm just telling you the episode title. Free Churro is one of them.
I know of that episode. Oliver did tell me a little bit about that episode. That was the episode where Oliver said, "Adam, you will love this show."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. All right. Well, this year this year that's on my bucket list. Or my New Year's resolutions. I don't have many New Year's resolutions. One is to get to 25,000 subscribers on my main YouTube channel. Then one is to film a new season of Fat Man Little Boy. And then one of them, it's right here. It says, "Watch BoJack Horseman with Antonio."
Yeah. I have probably, I'll say like 2 New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
I want to get back into making film stuff, truly, because I've kind of been itching to do it again.
Same.
Mostly just because it's like, I just kind of want to have fun. And I don't do that a lot lately.
Very relatable.
I do a lot of work. Obviously GCN is fun to me. That's the release basically, but like, other than that, like that's the only thing really. And for a while it wasn't. I'll fully admit that. For a while GCN was not a source of like fun or like stress relief for me.
That was,
In
I will
fact,
tell you, that's the saddest I have ever seen you.
yeah.
And I know that era, and that killed me, Antonio. I'm mature enough now that I can finally fucking say this. That killed me inside, was seeing how depressed you were doing that shit.
Yeah.
And it killed me. It fucking killed me.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough time, but I will say that at this point, I had a good long think of if I really wanted to, was I doing it for the right reason?
Yep.
Uh and of essentially like a bunch of other stuff. And I can say that now, not only did I come out the other side knowing what I want, but in the best sort of sense, I came out of it not caring so much.
I think that's the big thing about it, because I remember I was really obsessed, and I think you had this problem as well, if I remember correctly. Where I was like, I have to have one video a week.
Yeah.
And I have to do this. 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 And that slogged me down, where it felt like it was a job now. And I remember, and I believe I told you this as well, where I said, if A&P ever feels like a job, I quit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you were kind of going through.
Yeah, that was essentially what I was going through. But what was killing me about it, because I did have the thing of I want to put out videos every. Essentially the idea was I wanted to put out content every day, where it was 2 videos a week, 3 live streams. And here's the thing:
I'm doing it again.
2026, I've started doing it again.
What if your fucking head popped out right here when you did that? Since I had
That'd
it on
be
split screen.
so fucking awesome. And then
What?
see the head go down.
Oh. Well, this just took an interesting turn.
Wow, how'd you do that?
Very different live stream than what I had planned.
But getting back to it, it's like, but the thing is that, and it really helps, and this is good advice for literally anybody.
Drugs.
Boy.
Drugs help. Drugs help so much.
No. Not drugs. There's a one. Jesus.
So hardcore drugs, man.
So yeah. I started doing meth.
Fucking pussy, you're only doing meth? I'm going full fentanyl on your ass. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I gotta build myself up to the fentanyl. I'm not at that level yet.
When you get there, you won't regret it.
All right, cool. I can't wait. But
Oh god.
what I was actually gonna say is therapy helps. Therapy definitely helped me.
I'm glad it helped you.
Yeah, I know it depends. It's hard. It's hard to find a good one.
Very
and
hard.
It doesn't work for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But thankfully, I found a very nice man, and he helps me quite a lot. To the point where now, me going back into it in the way that I did in 2023, where I was coming out with stuff every day or every week, I noticed that there's a difference. I went into 2026 being like, I'm going to do this because this is fun for me. Plain and simple. Where I am reviewing what I want. I'm putting out videos of what I want. And if people watch them, dope. If people don't watch them, means the same to me.
Can I tell you, especially with the documentary that I have coming out, which should be out on January 22nd. A year ago, I made the prequel documentary to it. I made part 1 of the documentary. And I split into 2 parts, and neither part did well at all. They did awful, quite frankly. And I was very dejected by it until one person commented on it. I've got a few comments on the videos, don't get me wrong, but this one comment on part 2 struck me hard. And it said, "Don't be bothered by the lack of views. This content is phenomenal. This is very in-depth. Keep doing it." And that hit me.
Yeah.
It did. That hit me. And that one comment is why I'm doing the video that I'm doing now. Well, not this live stream, but the documentary that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Is because that commenter said, "Do it. You love it. You clearly love it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing it." And so I was like, okay, I'll keep doing it.
And I'll tell you what the difference is, where I'm going into this year being like, this is what I want to do. And not only that, I have a plan, like a long-term plan now.
Oh, shit.
Like, this is going to sound like hyperbole, and it's probably not. I have a plan for a goal that I want to hit with the channel that could easily take me a minimum of like 10 years.
Christ, Antonio, half the time I don't know what I'm doing next month.
But the difference is that when I went into 2023 doing the same thing, I remember what my mindset was going into it. And you'll notice what the difference is pretty fucking immediately. I'm going to do this. And if this isn't the thing that makes the channel blow up, I'm done.
Oh.
That was legitimately my thinking.
Okay.
Is that when I put out the videos of Kirby every week, and whatever was going on Monday, which was usually stuff about unreleased games and stuff like that, or even just random video essays. The idea was, I'm going to do this and do it all year. And if I still see the same numbers, I'm just going to be done. But then it blew up and it worked.
Yeah.
But then the next year I tried it again and it didn't do so well.
Yeah.
And it broke me.
Yep.
But then through, thinking of reflecting and stuff like that, I kind of realized that it's just fun for me in general. And that's all that really matters. And the view count and the sub count doesn't.
I think once you wrap your head around that, and I do feel kind of bad saying that as somebody who has 20,000 subscribers, which is nothing compared to a lot of people, but for me is everything kind of deal.
Yeah.
And who makes, not to blow my own trumpet, I make considerable money on YouTube because of it. Once you start realizing that, the better off you are.
Yeah.
And
because
it took me last year was when I fully realized it.
Yeah. Because when you stop worrying about that, is more so when you start having fun with it, which goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, where people can tell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. People can tell. People can tell when you're just throwing out AI slop or just slop that has no soul to it.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Doing things just to do it because you think it's expected of you, even though the only one who expects you to do it is you.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. Which is one reason why I said ANP TV needs to be a thing. Is because it's like, I don't want to stop doing these.
Yeah.
There really isn't a place for them anymore with the direction of the new channel.
Yeah.
So just fucking use your other channel, you fucking retard. Why don't you just fucking do that? You already have another channel here. It's just sitting there.
And I will say, even though this series on my channel doesn't get a lot of views, you all should watch it because one, it is the series on my channel that I am the most passionate about. And it is the thing that rekindled my love for making videos in the first place. I have a series called Releasing the Unreleased, where I talk about games that were canceled and the history behind them and why they were canceled. And Adam, to bring it to you, do you know how, like, do you know how, like, you'll talk about movies and you know a lot about them
I do
and
know
you
a
could
little
just
bit
talk
about them.
someone's fucking ear off about basically everything about that movie or the companies that make them or the directors that make them?
Look, I'm not saying I'm a little autistic when it comes to film history and history in general. But I am saying I'm a little autistic when it comes to that.
Because of this series, that's me with game development companies now.
I fucking love that though. You see that show, which by the way, I feel terrible that because I didn't even realize that you were doing it. Because normally I get notified whenever you upload a new video, but
Yeah.
for some reason those don't get
To
pushed.
be fair, I haven't put out a new episode of that in like over a year.
Okay, so that's why. But
Yeah.
that I would find fascinating.
I'll send you.
I would find that fascinating, and I could tell you why I'd find that fascinating, Antonio, because it's history.
Yep.
That's history, and I eat that shit up like a fat guy eating French fries at a McDonald's. I am going to slurp all history up and consume it and make it become one with me.
Like one of the things, like I've spoiler alert for the channel. I'm bringing it back, and I'm talking about all the canceled Mario games, right?
Mhm.
And because of that, I get to delve into the history of the relationship between Nintendo and Rare, who at one point during the Super Nintendo era were basically like, let me put it this way. They trusted this company to make Donkey Kong games. And Donkey Kong was what made them famous.
Mm-hmm.
Because Donkey Kong was where Mario originated. So they're like, okay, we need a new Donkey Kong game that will work in the 1990s on the Super Nintendo. You guys make really cool stuff because they revolutionized graphics on the fucking Super Nintendo, because what they would do is they would have 3D models that they would make and then pre-render them into sprites. So the games had this look of being 3D, even though
Oh,
they're
I've
not.
heard of this. I've heard of
Yeah.
this. Movies have done this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of similar to what Mortal Kombat does, except instead of doing it with real actors, it's with 3D models.
Right.
And Nintendo was so impressed by this that they hired this company to make a new Donkey Kong game. And it did phenomenally well. And every Rare game that came out on both the Super Nintendo and the Nintendo 64 did phenomenally well. We're talking about stuff like Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Perfect Dark, Killer Instinct. All of those games did phenomenally well, especially on Nintendo consoles. But then they decided to be trusted to make a new Star Fox game, which was originally not a Star Fox game. And it was called Star Fox Adventures. Originally, it was going to be called Dinosaur Planet. And Star Fox Adventures bombed. Terrible game. Does not play like any other Star Fox game because it wasn't even fucking supposed to be one. And it was becoming increasingly clear to Rare that we're not being given enough money to make these games because the cost of making a game in 2002 is doing nothing but increasing now because of how much graphics are advancing and stuff like that. And so originally they were going to be making games. There was 3 games they were going to make. There was going to be Diddy Kong Pilot. There was going to be Donkey Kong Racing. And then another one that was called like Donkey Kong Coconut Crackers.
Great titles, all of them.
Great titles, all of them. And so all of these games were planned and being developed. And then because they asked Nintendo for more money to develop these games because rising costs. And of course, Nintendo goes, nah, you're just going to get the same amount. So Rare goes, okay, and turns around and goes, we're for sale now.
Like out of spite?
They went, we need more money. Highest bidder gets us.
I love that.
And at this point, Rare was like a big name.
Yeah.
And who ends up buying them? Microsoft. So now all of Rare's franchises like Banjo and Conquer go to Xbox. But then now, because of that, Nintendo makes an agreement with them being like, okay, you can keep your franchises like Banjo, Conquer, Perfect Dark, Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have Donkey Kong. And you cannot make games with Donkey Kong anymore. And they go, okay.
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah, they go, okay. And they parted ways. Which, to kind of put it in perspective, I guess the most famous example would be one of Nintendo's most popular franchises is Pokemon.
Yep.
Pokemon is developed by a company called Game Freak. That would be like if Game Freak left Nintendo.
Oh, big deal. Really big deal. Yeah.
A really big deal.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you would think they went to this company that is willing to pay them more money. They're probably better off. It's hard to say because all of the franchises that they worked on are kind of dead now. Like Banjo hasn't seen a game since the Xbox 360.
Right.
And I think the same with Conquer. And Rare doesn't really do a lot. And also as a result of being purchased by Microsoft, a lot of employees at Rare after working for Microsoft ended up leaving. So like the Rare that works for Microsoft is basically an entirely different team than who worked for Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's interesting because part of what I do for releasing the unreleased is I speculate, oh, what would sometimes I focus on like, oh, what would the game's story be like if this game came out? Or if not, I'll speculate like what would the gaming sphere look like if this game came out? And I'm like, with Rare, it's kind of hard to say because it's like they went with Microsoft who gave them money, but they're not the Rare that they used to be. And they haven't made a game in God knows how long at this point, other than like errant games here and there. But like the big franchises they have not seen games in over 10 years. But then on the other side of it is like, if they stayed with Nintendo, would they be underfunded? And at that point, would they be able to make the games that they want to make anyway?
9:30.
It is 9:30.
It is 9:30.
So that's like the interesting stuff that like really drives the series and why I love looking into this stuff. Or you just get fucking weird shit. Like there was supposed to be a game where Sonic was educational on the Sega Genesis, and it was weird.
Where he fought Barbara Streisand, if I remember
Where he
correctly.
fought Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody's favorite ship was in that game, the Egg Carrier.
The Egg Carrier. I've never felt more retarded in my life.
You shouldn't, because in that moment, you want to know what you proved? When I said, what is your favorite Sonic ship? And you said the Egg Carrier. You want to know what you proved?
What?
You proved that you're not fucking chronically online like I am.
Okay. All right, I'll take it. I'll take my win when I, no matter how minor, I'll take it. See, that shit's fascinating.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I love that shit because I do it with movies.
Mhm.
The unmade movies. It kind of reminds me though, you were talking about them being underfunded, or what difference would that have made if they stayed, and would they have been good games? It kind of reminds me of a quote from Orson Welles, to be a little bit pretentious here, but it really stuck with me, because there's a man who notoriously had a hard time funding his movies.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, maybe had I worked with a studio, maybe my movies would have been better. But they certainly wouldn't have been mine."
True.
And that hit hard.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that was kind of a parallel
Yeah.
to what was going on with these guys.
And it's also what's funny is I actually was kind of talking about this before, because that's how I feel about the stuff that I do a little bit,
Yeah.
where we're talking, me and the guys have been talking about dog water this year. If you don't know, to give context, Dog Water Runs is a charity event that I do with a bunch of my friends, where we speed run games for 3 days straight. We all trade off, and we do a whole marathon where we raise money, usually for St. Jude. I don't know if we're doing St. Jude again this year. We haven't decided on a charity yet.
It's really cool.
It's a really cool, it's a really fun event. We do it. This would be the 4th time we're doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the attention of a certain website. That shall not be named.
The best website it possibly could have gotten the attention from, but also terrifying.
Yeah. And the thing is, so AGDQ is going on right now. That's Awesome Games Done Quick, which is the biggest speedrunning marathon charity event in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, they're talking about us again. And I think that's so cool that they are talking about us again. And the one thing that they always keep saying is they don't want us to go corporate like GDQ or ESA does.
Right.
And I'm like, I would never want to, no matter how fucking popular Dog Water gets, it could make it, we could donate $1 million fucking dollars this year, and there would be absolutely no shot that I would want to make it any more corporate than it is right now. Because I feel like part of the appeal of both GCN and Dog Water is how, it's a common phrase to say nowadays, but how unapologetically us it is.
Well, I like how crude it is.
Yeah.
There is an art to crudeness. That comes off with streams like that, in which these are people who are not doing it because they're necessarily getting paid a lot. They're doing it because they fucking love to do it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a labor of love.
Exactly.
Not for you.
Yeah.
But for yourself.
Us. Yeah.
Right.
Why am I getting a 9:30 alarm again?
Because it's 5 minutes after 9:30.
Okay. Anyway, but to go on with it, nothing showed it better than when we were filming stuff for the channel yesterday, where, in the middle of filming one of our videos, Matt and Jenny ended up coming in because Jenny was needed for a video that we were filming after that. And, they sat on the couch, and Matt, kind of says something, and then he goes oh, I'm supposed to be quiet. And Pete, the legend he is, and I follow the sentiment completely, Pete goes, "No, it's okay. You can make noise. Who cares?" And I'm like,
I love that.
Yeah, who cares? I'm like, if it's... because my philosophy with it is, if the video's entertaining, it's entertaining, no matter if it's made with an $8 million budget or an 8-cent budget. Entertainment is entertainment.
I agree. Didn't we have that? You were shooting something where you were dyeing your hair pink,
Yeah.
and I was desperately trying to be quiet
Yeah.
about the whole thing. And then
Yeah.
eventually it was you and Pete who said, Adam, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, we were like, you can talk. It's like, who gives you? You're part of it. You're here.
I'm the reason it's happening.
Exactly. Legitimately, you're the one who made the donation that made us have to dye our hair.
I still got to tell you, Antonio, that was one of the crowning achievements of my life. And I remember full well, not to completely derail the conversation, but I need to tell you how fast and how hard my pump was beating. My heart was beating.
Yeah.
Because I was so scared.
Uh-huh.
And I kept texting Jenny. I think I'm going to do it. No, I can't do this. Jenny, I think I'm going to do it. No, I can't do it. She's like, Adam, just do it. Just do it. You have the money. Go ahead and do it. Just do it. And then I sent it. And I still fucking remember the back and forth Jenny and I had for that fucking night. And it was so fucking how angry you were. you were like,
I've told you, you don't believe me, but I tell you this every time. It wasn't anger. It was nothing but pure shock that it happened. Because me and Pete went in thinking like, this isn't going to happen.
Right. Well, that's why you did it.
Yeah. In fact, the fact that we made like $1,700 that weekend to give to the Video Game History Foundation for the first SGMR was something that we thought we were going to be nowhere near.
Right.
And honestly, it's because SGMR did that well that made us want to do a charity live stream every year. Whether it was Dogwater or SGMR or whatever. Spoiler alert, we're doing another one. Another type of event that's like that, that me and Pete are working on.
As you should. I like that you guys do that. Man. Yeah, I always thought it was cool that you guys do shit for charity. I always thought that was pretty cool because I've never done that. I've never even dreamed of doing that because I've been so concerned with no, I need to keep the money within the company. Since I've now had to make it a company.
Yeah.
And I gotta fucking admire that. But never underestimate, Antonio, I think you learned this lesson. Never have something as an incentive.
If you're not prepared to do it.
If you're not prepared to follow through with
it. What's funny though is that I get a little history of SGMR. Two interesting things. One is real quick, so I'll just gloss over it. The fact that it was a charity live stream was kind of like the last thing that we came up for it.
Right.
When we were first just coming up with SGMR, it's the Sonic Generations marathon race. It was just like, oh, this would be like a really cool thing to do, of just like 10 Sonic games. I think we were doing it for the anniversary of Sonic.
Yes, you were.
That was why we did it.
Yeah.
And then at one point we were like, what if we just made it a charity thing? And we're like, can we figure out how to do that? I was like, I'll try. And then we did. And then that's why it's a charity thing. And that's why charity things have been going on every subsequent year. But then with the thing with the dyeing hair, right, is that originally it was just going to be Peter. But the thing is that we were trying to be like, oh, Pete, you should dye your hair. That would be like a cool incentive to have. That would be like a fun thing. Because he was kind of talking about how he's like, I kind of want to do it, but I don't know if I want to or whatever. Because he was kind of worried about like the health of his hair afterwards.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. But I was like, I'll cut you a deal. If you do an incentive where you dye your hair blue, I'll do an incentive where I dye my hair pink. Thinking, that's not going to fucking happen. And then it did. And that was specifically the point in my life where legitimately the next day after we dyed my hair pink was when I was working at a summer camp with children. So I came into work that day, and literally all of them were like, "What? What happened?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, don't address it. Yeah, don't address it at all. What are you talking about?
And then one of them came up to me and was like, "You have hair like my mom." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
She has good hair. That's how you respond to that. She's got good hair.
That person's mom was a Karen.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Aren't they the worst?
Oh yeah.
Aren't they the worst?
It was such a shame because that kid loved me, but his mom hated me.
I'm betting he's gonna grow up being just fine.
Oh yeah, I think
He's not gonna be what's the male Karen?
Kevin.
Kevin? He's not gonna be a Kevin.
No.
Because he's gonna resent. What's unfortunately gonna happen is he's gonna resent his mother. And I'm not saying go the complete opposite of what she tells him to do, but be chill about it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because working at GameStop, I got to deal with a lot of people like that. And you would
believe that.
There were so many times where, like, this kid who's probably like 12 or 13 years old would come in with their mom, and their mom would be fucking flipping out on me for something I didn't even fucking do. And they'd be like, and then you see the kid like, oh my god,
yeah.
I can't believe my mom's fucking doing this.
Oh yeah.
I had one kid.
It's always the moms too.
Yeah. I had one kid whose mom stormed out of the store and she's like, "All right, we're leaving." And he literally goes and he's like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. Fucking moms, man. When moms go full grizzly bear mode, it's terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Also slightly inspiring. Sometimes it's inspiring.
It depends on what they're freaking out about.
Right. It really depends on what they're freaking out about. There's been plenty of times.
Are they freaking out because of an injustice that happened in the school that they're going to, or are they freaking out because they got a pair of headphones they didn't very much care for?
Yes, I will never forget the day I had my mother was freaking out because she couldn't figure out how to zoom out on her phone. And she was freaking the fuck out. And I remember literally going, "Whoa, hold on. Let me Google how to do this. And I will fix it."
As you grab her phone, zoom out, and then Google how to fix it.
Yeah, how to fix it. The reason why I know how to fix it on an Android, because that's what happened to her has happened to my Android, and several times. And I've known how to fix it because I have an Android. She has a fucking iPhone because she's a snobbish prick, because that's what all people with iPhones are. I'm just kidding. I love you, mother. And so I had no fucking idea. I have no idea. Apple is a whole other alien planet to me as far as I am concerned.
I look at Jess's phone and I'm like,
what?
I'll be like, "How do I do this thing?" And she's like, "Oh, you do this, and then you push this, and then you do this." And I'm like, "Well, on my phone, I just push a button."
Exactly.
Talking Apple versus Android. That I just don't understand Apple.
Why would you have to do that? You press a million things on my phone for?
Like the fucking
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah,
fucking
there she goes.
Apple Defender. There you
I'm
go.
asking questions.
Yeah, ask your question.
No. You're asking dumb questions because iPhones are dumb.
I don't understand how, say your flashlight, how the fuck to get to it. She's gonna show me right now, and she's gonna show me how simple it is.
Yeah. All right, you're on full screen.
Okay.
You just slide down.
You just slide down.
And then turn it on.
And you turn it on.
How do you get to yours?
Well, I'm stupid.
Yeah, it turns out.
And then there's a button that has a picture of a flashlight.
Antonio, you know how we do it? Antonio, you want to know how we do it on our phones?
Yeah, we slide down.
We slide down and we press the flashlight.
But no. Here's the difference. Right? We slide the opposite way.
You slide up.
Yeah, we do.
You swipe up.
No, down, but it's up for you.
No, I just said.
What are you fucking talking
you
about?
start from the top corner and you swipe
I love
down.
this. I love this.
Whatever. I'm done with
I
this.
love
Swipe
watching
down
married
from the
couples
top.
fight and get
I'm a-
divorced on my
What did I
live
say?
streams.
All right, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? iPhones are great. You know what? You suck.
iPhones are
right?
great. Androids fucking suck.
Yeah, Androids suck. This thing
They're
needs
the
to go out the
same.
fucking window.
They're the exact same thing.
I would have died laughing if it like clonked really hard against the door and everything on the door just fell down. I would have died.
I don't know, okay?
If it's to get to like the maps or like the weather app, that's because I put it in like.
I put mine in folders too,
Yeah,
okay? It's
I
the
put-
same. It's all the same. Debunked. I don't know what I'm talking
okay.
about.
I was gonna say it because if yours isn't in folders, that explains that.
Hi, Adam.
Sometimes I'm happy I'm single. Sometimes.
Because I understand not knowing like the folders.
Anyway.
But yeah, you're right. I've seen a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
Not too much anymore, but I remember it full well. I'm glad I don't really have to talk to the public
Me neither.
anymore.
It's so good.
It's so great.
As
Fuck
much
the
as I
public.
complain about my job, the one thing I will never complain about is that I don't have to fucking talk to anybody.
I gotta tell you, having worked in retail, I don't bitch at retailers anymore.
Me neither. I
Because
will.
now I know.
And here's the thing, right? I
Mhm.
feel bad when like I'm at like a restaurant, whether you want to classify a restaurant as like something like even something like Dunkin' Donuts, right? Like just like an establishment of any sort or like a store, and like when something goes like slightly wrong,
Yeah.
and you can just see the fear in that employee's eyes that like
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get fucking screamed at.
Yep.
I legitimately am always the person to be like, no, it's fine. Go ahead. Whatever you got to do. You know,
Whatever you gotta
if
do.
something goes wrong where like, say like they get my order wrong, I will be like, oh, hey, I just got this. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's fine.
I know.
Like, it's fine. Like I really, it's
Fine.
no skin off my nose. Like
It's
one of the,
fine.
like recently, like I ordered pickup for a poke place that's like near me because I'm a hipster and I eat poke bowls.
Good job. We all have that one thing we're complete hipsters over, and I guess that one's yours.
Yeah. What do you listen? It's sushi in a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
It's good shit. But so I ordered it for pickup, and the app said like, oh, it's likely done, and I'm like, okay, I'll go pick it up now. And I drove over there, and like they were like halfway done with the order,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, I'm here to pick up for Antonio. They're like, oh, okay, it's almost done. It's almost done, and I'm like, okay. And then like it took a little bit of time. Like they were still making like one of the bowls and like one of the appetizers, and they're like, it's almost done, I promise. And I'm like, it's okay, take your time. It's done when it's done.
It's done when it's done.
Yeah, whether it's 5 minutes from now or 20 minutes from now.
There has been a couple of times. There's one store that whenever I'm driving home or coming back from home, I tend to stop at this store just because it's very convenient. It's right there. And I tend to pick up a sandwich or I pick up a drink or something like that. And there's this one time where this woman was in there with her 2 children, and the 2 children were maniacs. They were running around all over the place, being horrible, horrible children. They were very young, but they were being horrible, and the mother just wasn't doing a thing about it. And they were taking forever in the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting there with some stuff in my hands, waiting. And eventually I said, I'm done waiting. And you know what I did? I put the stuff back. I went to where I found it, and I put the shit back. Because I didn't want the retailer, who is already going to have to clean up this fucking mess that the children had made,
Yeah, to also clean up
to
your
also
mess.
have to clean up my mess. Because that used to happen to me.
Yep.
If somebody
Same.
doesn't want something, they'll just leave it.
Yeah.
You know.
I do. I'm because literally when I worked at Big Lots, that was my main function, was to clean the shelves and make them
Mhm.
look neat, right? It is so bad that even to this day, I will just fix shelves at stores.
I do too. I face front shit all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I just want. It was like embedded into my brain so much that now if I'm into a convenience store and I see shit that's kind of like in particular bottles, that are like, not you. I don't want to straighten you out at all.
I'm pretty gay.
When I see, oh, that tasted like strawberry. I finally tasted it.
Well, if you get the monster strawberry flavor right now, you burp strawberry.
You
What
burp
do you think of
strawberry.
that?
Mmm.
Not sponsored.
I wish I was sponsored by Monster. I would die.
I wish I was
if
sponsored by literally anybody. Truly.
Yeah. I'll finish this thought and we'll get to who I'm kind of sponsored by.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that if I walk by, the place where you buy your sodas, the big coolers and stuff like that, and I see that they're all facing the wrong way, I'll casually walk by it. And if I'm getting something from that aisle, it's like I've got to fix all of it.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's been embedded into my brain.
I think it's because it's like, I know almost inherently for a fact, these people are here and they're having a terrible day because they're here. I want to try to make it a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if like I fucking walk away and then some fuck ass kid punches everything I just did, like at least it's like I tried.
Right.
I also do it, and this is more so like a health thing. And maybe I shouldn't do this now that I'm thinking about it, but like I don't know. But like there will be times where I'm like at like the supermarket and I'll see like meat on the shelf that someone was just like, I don't want this, puts it on like a random shelf, and I'm like,
oh yeah, yes,
this is gonna fucking spoil. So I go and I put it back in the fucking freezer.
Yeah, I've done that as well. Well, Antonio, my bladder is unbelievably full.
Mm-hmm.
And I at least want to read a couple of Reddit stories to adhere to my promise that I put into this goddamn thing.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a very small break after a word from A&P's partner, I should say. And then we will be right back for some Am I the Asshole from Reddit, in which I've discovered. So, we will be right back. We interrupt your normal broadcast to bring you this brief message. A&P is proud to have become a History Fix affiliate. History Fix is a streaming service for history nerds like you and me. This includes some of our own productions, such as the uncut and uncensored version of our documentary on the Battle at Remagen, along with our short documentary breaking down the Boston Massacre moment by moment. So head on over using either the link on your screen right now, or by scanning the QR code, and save 30% off the annual subscription price by using the promo code 30% off. Thank you, and let's keep history alive. Oh, hello. Welcome back.
Hello.
We're now going to start doing the Reddit portion as I promised. So I'm can at least...
pizza.
You're eating pizza, nice. I'm drinking a naked.
Get naked?
Don't say that, we will. If it's for the bit, we're going to do it.
That would be... Can we pitch a commercial to that company? It's like, get naked? And then it's just that, and then it just ends with, get naked.
Get naked. You see, I as the head CEO of Naked, I would love that.
Yeah.
I just remember the whole thing. I remember for AMA, there's an episode where there's like a sex scene between Big Mama and me. And I just love the idea of shooting it like it's this passionate, beautiful sex scene to this love ballad, but it's these two fat beluga whales of men. One who's as hairy as a Sasquatch.
It is beautiful.
Grotesque, but beautiful. It is art. And it will turn somebody on. I know it will. It'll turn somebody on out there.
1000%.
Definitely. Definitely. And, you know, that in turn turns me on. You know?
All right.
Let's get naked. All right.
Yeah, let's get naked.
So I have one here. I have three. One I realize is not really New Year's related, but I have three here. Two of them are definitely New Year's related. So here's the title, and we'll judge if they're the asshole or not just by the title.
Okay.
And then we will judge whether or not they are the asshole or not by the end of the story. So the first one I have is, am I the asshole for not wanting to spend New Year's Eve with my mom?
I'm going to say that does not make you an asshole just from that title alone.
Yes, I'm going to say that as well.
Because especially with something like New Year's Eve, that's a holiday you spend with anyone you want, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not Christmas.
It's not like a family holiday, really.
Yeah.
But, like, where I'm hesitant with that is why.
Why? Yes.
Yeah.
That's always the fun part about these is the why.
Yeah.
All right, let's begin this. I, 26 female, have been living with my mom, 53 female, for a year while getting organized to move out with my boyfriend, 26 male, in the spring. She has been going through some hard times lately. After experiencing a bad breakup a few months ago and learning how to truly be single for the first time in over 27 years, she has had a couple of partners since I was born and my parents split up, but there was never much time in between them. My mom has some pretty intense childhood traumas. There we go. Oh, here we go. Here we fucking go.
Okay.
That are obviously affecting her. And since she's been alone, I've been trying my best to be here for her. She doesn't really have anyone else. No real friends except our neighbor, and an odd guy that wants more than friendship.
Oh, looks like mommy is getting it on.
Mommy's a fucking MILF.
I need the face you're making right now with what you just said as like top text, bottom text, impact font. Mommy's a MILF.
Mommy's a MILF. I didn't even know I could make that face until just now.
Congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Antonio, I can't do much, all right? Anyways. I really love my mom and have connected well with her my whole life. But since living with her this year, I can relate to this so much. I've come to realize that we probably don't have the healthiest relationship in that I sometimes feel like I am the one doing the parenting. When my boyfriend is over, I invite her to watch TV with us in the living room or play crib with us, or sometimes even to come out with us to events and whatever. I even sometimes change my plans so I can be home with her so she isn't alone too many days in a row. She talks to me like her best friend and sometimes like her therapist. And though it makes me uncomfortable, I don't want to hurt her by telling her she needs to find someone else to talk to about some things. A couple of days ago, she asked if me, her, and my boyfriend, my boyfriend and me, could spend New Year's Eve together. Maybe go out on the town and dance. I am torn between my selfish desires to spend that time with my friends and being there for my mom for her first New Year's Eve alone. I could invite some friends to go with us, but who wants to party with their mom there? Can understand that. I could also go out with just her, but I'd honestly prefer to ring in the New Year with my partner, and it's not fair to him to monopolize his New Year's with my mother's for my mother's sake. That was really difficult to read. I apologize. I don't know what to do. She's already started looking up events across the city that we could go to, but something about it doesn't feel right. I want to be there for my mom, but there is a fine line between offering support as her daughter and feeling responsible for a grown woman's emotion. Am I the asshole for not wanting to celebrate New Year's Eve with my mom, who has no one else to celebrate with?
No.
No.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You're not the asshole. She's definitely not the asshole based on the information that we have right there. Now, one thing I do want to say that I've always noticed with the Smosh Reddit stories, which I listen to religiously.
Oh, me too.
Shane always brings up a good point, and that is we're only getting one side of a story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And whether you're intending to or not, you are always going to write your side of the story favoring yourself.
Yeah.
Whether that's the intention or not. As a historian, oh yeah, people do that.
I mean, that's just human nature. Like,
it is.
You write
it's
from
just
your
human nature.
perspective, no matter what it is. Even if you're writing fiction, you're still writing from your perspective.
Yes, you're still writing from your perspective. Sometimes it's entertaining when that happens, but when she's not the asshole. She doesn't need to. She wants to spend it with her partner. Let her spend it with her partner.
Yeah.
She's 57 years old. She's a grown woman.
Yeah, it's the thing of like, I understand that you have like these feelings of guilt because, you know, you see where your mom is coming from, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm trying not to make too many assumptions, right? But like, because you do kind of act as a pseudo therapist for your mother,
which it blatantly says in the thing, yeah.
But I'm saying that I'm not making like assumptions in the sense of like that in turn, because with some relationships that are like that could then in turn turn into guilt, where the person that is now using their child as a therapist will now guilt them, being like, oh, you know, I'm so vulnerable with you and we're so close, and how could you do this to me, and yada yada yada, right? But I'm not going to make that assumption because I don't know how she is outside of like needing emotional support from her daughter.
That's it too. The daughter also doesn't really say anything about, is she a good mother? Was she a good mother? I should say.
Which in this context, I mean, like, it's relevant, but like the fact that she doesn't say that she was a bad mom or that it was rough growing up, it gives me the impression that that's not even like a thought in her brain, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of turns the favors towards positive.
Yeah. And because everybody, well, you're right. Especially as you get older too, you start seeing more of the flaws in your parents, for good and for bad.
Yeah.
As you grow older too. Plus, you're always constantly wanting your own independence and more of that stuff. But admittedly, this story doesn't affect me too much because I've always been alone New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been another night for me for a long time. This year actually was like the first year where I've actually had somebody like with me to celebrate and bring in the new year. And that was big for me. Like, that was a big deal. And now I got it. You know, the wanting to be away from just family and stuff like that. Honestly, I think she should just tell the mom,
yeah,
hey, look. Well, and I'm
especially because she's looking up events now. It's like you should tell her before it gets in too deep. You know what I mean?
Yes. And I'm also kind of convinced that if the mother is even remotely somewhat mature, even though she has some of those mental health issues, she will understand.
Yeah.
If she's a good mother, especially if she's a good mother, she will always kind of put her child's happiness kind of above her own. And this is such a minor
Yeah, I mean, it's just one
case of that.
Yeah, it's one holiday, and it's a holiday where it's like it's not that serious, you know?
No, it's not that serious at all.
And
if
like,
this is Christmas, I might take a different stance.
It would be a little bit harder to
Right.
say.
Right.
Or even like Thanksgiving, even.
Yeah, even that. Like that's something that I've always kind of dreaded is, the day I finally get my partner, having to choose where I'm going to go for the holidays.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say no to my family, but yet.
Yeah.
And having to choose. And I've had to do that kind of because of my job, actually, believe it or not, is to kind of choose where am I going and stuff. But no, I don't think she's the asshole at all.
Also,
but she does have an update. I'm sorry.
1 second before we hit the update.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yay, update. How old is the OP?
OP is 26, mother is 57.
Okay. So in that sense, I'm like, if you're 26 years old, I think you are, you're still young, obviously, but you're about old enough to where you do have that independence, right?
Oh yeah, by far.
Yeah, by far.
Fucking use it.
And yeah, but I'm also thinking like, because I'm trying to think of like where her head is at, where it's like, does she know that her mom would be upset if she wasn't there? Like at her, like let's say, like upset at her for not being there? Or is that just what she thinks is going to happen?
Oh, I got you.
Like is she guilting herself?
Yes, which is another common problem. We've all done it.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
And if in that case, if it's that, then I would say make a compromise with yourself and maybe see, maybe I can't be with you New Year's Eve because I'm busy, but maybe we'll do something New Year's Day.
Oh yeah. That's fine. And you know what? I think and again, this is speaking from my point of view, but that would work on me.
Yeah.
I would be just fine with that. Like if somebody who I really cared about was like, hey, look, New Year's, I'm already doing that. New Year's Eve, I'm already doing this. What are you doing in 3 days?
Yeah. Where it's like, you don't just say no to the camaraderie, but you kind of be like, hey, I can't now, but later we will.
But later we can and we will.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly valid.
Yeah.
It happens all the fucking time. But moving on to the update, I decided to figure out other plans before talking to my mom about it, so it didn't look like I was just dumping her, because I didn't want to spend time with her. That's a sentence. The plans came together only 2 days before New Year's Eve. She asked what I was doing, and I told her I was going to a bar with my boyfriend. One of the bars she had mentioned going to, which I felt weird about. Okay, that is kind of weird. And she told me she had asked one of her work friends, 25 female, to come over with her boyfriend, 28 male.
That's
weird.
That's a whole other Reddit story.
That is a whole other fucking story. That is weird. Granted, I don't know their situation. Maybe they're having a throuple. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Kind of hot. MILF.
Three-way with a MILF.
With a MILF.
I'm dogging it.
She looked okay, sorry. This work friend is a year younger than me, and mom often calls her a second daughter. Okay. There you go. That kind of explains that a lot more. Okay. Gotcha. I gotcha.
Phew.
I'm glad she wasn't alone, but things have been weird between us, especially since the New Year's Eve thing was never directly addressed. She looked quite hurt as we were leaving and was very subdued when we got home. I talked to her about boundaries and told her I can't be her best friend. Valid. That isn't my role as her daughter. I would like to be friends with my mom in a way, but I can't be the one she shares her relationship problems with, or who she talks to about childhood traumas and associated healing with. It overwhelms me, and I'm trying not to feel guilty about setting these boundaries, even though she didn't take them well. She told me it was hypocritical of me to bring all my issues and stuff to her and not be there for her to do the same. Still feeling like a bit of an asshole, to be honest. There's a lot to unpack with that paragraph.
There is a lot to unpack there.
There is a lot to unpack because I can understand both point of views on that one.
I was going to say, I think now with this update, I went from complete not the asshole to a bit of everybody sucks here.
Yeah. Because I get the whole thing where I don't think your parent. I think you can be friends with your parents, but I do think it is difficult to be best friends with your parents. And it is difficult because of the natural relationship that you're supposed to have with them, and stuff like that. And the same with them to you, right? It's not just a one-way street. But yet, I can also kind of understand the mom, because the mom is kind of like, "Hey, I've always been there for you. You're my daughter. I need you here with me."
So,
in the sense that she's having problems.
So here's where I think OP went wrong. Is that the way the way she was talking in the first part of this story is that she already had plans with friends that she wanted to go to. But now she reveals she had no plans.
Right.
And in fact, rushed to get plans done just so that she couldn't be with her mom. So that she would have the excuse. And now that feels a little scummy, especially because I think she made it clear in the update, she didn't tell her right away. Like,
No.
even if it was the thing of like, even if you said, I have plans to hang out with my friends, I don't really know what we're doing yet, but I know that I'm hanging out with them, is still more honest than being like, we got to get a plan so that I can tell my mom what I am doing so I can't hang out with her.
Right.
That's where I think OP went wrong.
I agree. I do. I agree with you there.
I do think, because, and again, we're getting one side of the story, so it's hard to say. The mom then turning around and being like, why are you coming to me with all of these problems when you can't do the same for me, is a little bit bullshit when she has claimed that she has been therapist for her. She has been there for her, and she has listened to her problems about her traumas and her relationships and stuff like that. So to be like, you don't do that for me, is very much not fair.
You're right. I totally didn't think of that for some reason. You're right. Even though I do like that kind of role in a relationship, in that, you know, your parents were there for you. You, as they get older, you're ended up having to be there for them.
Yes, and I completely agree with that.
But it sounds like she kind of was.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, OP
and
was.
The claim that she isn't because of this one incident is unfair.
Right.
Which is why I lean towards everybody sucks here.
I think everybody sucks. I'm going to lean towards she's not the asshole.
She's like a light asshole.
Yeah, it's like she kind of edges into that territory, but it's damn close.
She could have come out of this not the asshole, but then in the way that she executed it, she kind of became it. Especially because they went to a place that the mom suggested. Like
that, I also was like, what?
Yeah, that feels a bit knife twisty.
That was the thing. Yeah,
that really comes off as, oh, I don't want to hang out with you. I'll go to this place, not with you.
Yeah.
That's especially because they didn't have plans beforehand. I feel like she could have had a say, I'm like, maybe let's not, because my mom wanted to go there and I don't want to make it seem like it.
Oh, she had full opportunity to do that. Granted, we don't know how her friends reacted about that. Maybe it was her friends who were insisting on that, but I still think if you just said to your friends, hey, look, my mother was, and I didn't really want to go here, blah, 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 I'd understand.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, not the asshole leaning on everybody sucks.
Yeah.
I love it when that happens.
When the update just completely changes The Perception.
Oh, those are my favorites, dude.
It's so good.
Those are like legit my fucking favorites. All right,
Or
we're
when,
moving
like,
on.
Or when
Oh.
there's like a story that's told, and then a person involved in the story is in the replies and clarifies everything.
Those are the best, dude.
Those are awesome.
Those are the best. What was the one? I think there was one that Shane read, where it was like a guy who was in his 30s, but he was creeping up on like these 18-year-olds, and all of a sudden one of the 18-year-olds found the post and responded, no, this is what
this
you
is
were
what
doing.
he actually did.
Yeah, I love that.
It's so good.
I love that. Sometimes updates are the best. Anyways, moving on. Am I the asshole for storming out a New Year's Eve party?
Depends on what happened.
I know, it depends on what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's like the answer to a lot of these, but it's like I'm inclined, again, if you had to storm out, I'm inclined to say that you're not the asshole.
I'm going to lead towards asshole, and not
You
just
think so?
because I know where the verdict lies, because I had to find the story.
Yeah.
But the use of the word storm out.
Okay. Yeah. Storming out sounds like something that you say.
Something royally
about
pissed you off.
Well, what I'm saying is, for it to not be the asshole, I would say that someone has to say that about you. You can't say that about yourself.
Okay.
Because it feels
Okay.
a little weird to be like, I stormed out of there.
Okay.
It feels a little self-important, almost.
It might. Well, we'll
Also, I might
find
just
out,
be
won't we?
judgmental.
Let's find out.
Mm-hmm.
Me. My family usually has a big New Year's Eve get-together. Due to the ongoing conditions, we mostly passed on a big gathering. But my grandmother, 93, wanted to do a little gathering, restricted to people who lived geographically near her and were both vaccinated and boosted. When was this posted? 4 years ago. Okay, that explains it.
That'll do it.
That led to a guest list of 6. Myself, my wife, one of my uncles and aunts, and my younger brother. A party was hosted at grandmother's. For as long as I can remember, Grandmom has had trouble with names and faces, and in a lot of these gatherings or just other social visits, you are likely to be called anything from a grab bag of names of all of the people present. Oh, meaning she's going to call you everything but your
She's
name.
going to call you
Okay.
anything.
This pattern continued in the New Year's party, with the first 10 minutes being called my uncle's name twice and my brother's name once, and her getting my own name right 0 times. Tired of ignoring it, but I was kind of annoyed by that. I tried to ignore it, but was kind of annoyed by this. More annoyed than I usually get from her name forgetting. And I think it might be because I hadn't seen her much in the past 2 years, what with the plague and all. Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
Can you switch to the both of us right now? I need people to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
doing this right now?
Are we doing this?
Are we?
Yeah.
Is this going exactly where I think this is going?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Keep going.
Pretty sure it is. So when we settled down on opposite ends of the couch to chat, I was already in something of a bad mood. And as the topic of conversation... Yeah, I saw it, yeah. As I was already in something of a bad mood, and as the topic of conversation meandered, I started talking about how my wife and I were watching this old British spoof news show called Brass Eye. Oh, I know that show. It's pretty funny.
I don't.
Yada, yada, yada. After talking about it for a few minutes, in which she certainly seemed to participate in the conversation, I suggest seeing if I can link to YouTube on her TV and find a clip or two to see if the humor is to her liking. Find a likely one, start playing it, and Grandma immediately comes out with, "What's this?" Okay. God damn it. It's the thing I was explaining to you for the past 5 minutes. God
Am
damn
I
it.
alive right now?
God
Am
damn
I
it.
awake? Is this a real person?
Hold on, it gets better.
Come
And has clearly made no impression. It just made me see red. Got my coat, stormed out and out without a word or to anyone, and walking home about 2 miles. Wife left shortly thereafter in the car because she wasn't sure what happened to me when it became clear I wasn't coming back. So he grabbed his coat, Antonio. He grabbed
we
his
all
coat.
know how people are when they grab their coats.
When they grab their coats, yeah, exactly. Well, my folks have been calling, mostly out of concern, and I've kind of sheepishly told them that I was absolutely furious with the family matriarch. Fuck off. This guy needs to fuck off. I was mostly furious with the family matriarch, and simply had to get out or say or do something I would regret later, like storming out. I can tell this hasn't gone over all that great. And from what I hear, the rest of the party was awkward and just kind of trailed along for a half hour or so before everything else went home. Am I the asshole? I want to be clear that I'm sure Grandmom doesn't do it maliciously. But like I said, she's always been terrible with names and faces, and I think her hearing and or her ability to focus is going. That part is definitely new. Well, she's 93 fucking years old, one.
What are you fucking talking about, you fucking animal? You
This guy's a
fucking
fucking-
donkey?
This
What's
guy's
wrong
a
with you?
fucking animal. Now, I wish to say this. I sympathize with him to a minor extent because I fucking get annoyed with my mother when she can't remember my name. She calls me the dog. She calls me Tim, my dad. She calls me my cousins a few times. But I don't get furious at her. It's just her brain not working as fast, or sorry, it's her mouth not working as fast as her brain.
Yeah.
Right? It's not malicious or anything
we-
like that.
I as soon as I saw where this fucking story was, this made
Yeah.
me mad. This
Yeah.
made me fucking mad.
Especially
Did you find this on-
93-year-old grandma.
Did you find this on our Am I the Devil?
No, it was just Am I the
That's
Asshole?
insane.
Yeah,
Because I think this person's a contender.
I think so too.
How
Especially because
how do you
it's
get furious at a 93-year-old woman?
a 93-year-old woman.
In
Granted,
good
he has
conscience,
said
I think you're right.
he said that she's always had this problem. I don't really believe him. But you see, here's the thing, Antonio, right? I had my Aunt Ree and my mother are notorious for calling me anything but my own name. And especially with my mother, I can get annoyed with it sometimes. Most of the times I just brush it off, right? Because Lord knows I've done it to people, right?
Yeah.
Lord knows I've accidentally called you Jim or Jim Antonio or whatever. It fucking happens. What is wrong with this man? He's storming out like a fucking... How old is he?
Yeah, how old is he? Because if he's anything older than 13, it's a problem.
Oh, he already says he has a wife. It does not say how old he is,
Speaking of,
but he is married. Okay.
not
okay.
only does he storm out of this fucking party
He leaves his
because
wife
he's
there.
mad at a 93-year-old woman, he left his wife there.
Mhm.
How do
Okay.
you do that?
And I also want to just kind of make a note about this as well. You can get angry about it. You're perfectly valid to get upset by them forgetting your name constantly or whatever. Or even just getting annoyed with the fact that, hey, we were just talking about this for 5 fucking minutes and you can't remember it.
Yeah.
That being said, there are ways you can handle this where you're not a fucking asshole. One could be, hey, I got to step outside and take a cigarette break. Or just
Yeah.
step outside for a
Just
little
go
bit.
breathe.
Just go breathe. That's perfectly fucking fine. Also, how is she not forgetting the show? Is she asking, like, oh, what's the name of the show again? Or is she just saying, what are we watching, period?
Yeah, or is she like, maybe she's not even fucking familiar with what YouTube is.
Which is quite likely if she's 93 motherfucking years old.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, if I was dealing with a 93-year-old, I could forgive some memory problems, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing, is that it really shows a lack of empathy and a lack
lack of empathy,
like
yeah.
a lack of perspective,
Mhm.
where you just can't understand that maybe remembering things like names or what you were even just talking about could be hard for someone who's almost an entire fucking century old.
A century years old. Yeah. By the way, I love the fact that he refers to her as the family matriarch.
That tells me
What?
everything I need to know about him.
Like, what the fuck? You know?
That tells me and also I know I'm stuck on this, but like, if you came there with someone, they better be fucking leaving with you. How do you leave your, because here's the thing where I have such a problem with that part too. You leave your wife there after you storm out of this party because you got mad at an old woman.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's already awkward because you stormed out for such a weird reason. And you're going to leave your wife there to deal with the aftermath?
To deal with the aftermath, exactly.
Like,
And
that's not fair to her.
And I got to tell you, Antonio, one of the worst feelings I think I could ever experience is upsetting an old person.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and not getting the old person angry. I'm not talking about that. Making the old person sad because they feel like they did something wrong and they're unsure what they did wrong.
Yeah.
One of the worst fucking feelings you could possibly ever experience. And what does this asshole do?
He does exactly that. Like,
he does exactly that and doesn't care.
The woman just wanted to have her family with her.
Her family near her.
And during COVID. And she's 93. Not to get morbid, she's not going to have a bunch of holidays left.
She doesn't have a bunch of these things left. Exactly. And how does she choose it? She wants to be with family. And I'm like, that's beautiful. Fuck yeah.
And then you're going to turn around and get mad at her because she can't remember something you were just talking about?
And she wanted to host it, too. This woman's a legend.
Yeah, she's awesome. Can she be my grandma?
Can she be my grandma? Thanks. Well, we got 2 edits here. We don't have updates, but we have an edit.
Okay.
Edit.
Let's see how he makes it worse.
I'm going to apologize to my grandmother and the other partygoers.
Good.
Step in the right direction.
A step in the right direction, but why?
Edit number 2. Because it's coming up a lot in the responses, I do not believe my grandmother has memory issues. She retains and can communicate very well on things that are going on. I do think she has trouble hearing, maybe trouble paying attention, because she's 93 fucking years old.
Because she's 90. No, dude.
Once she's noticed something, though, she is definitely remembering it. Just because she's old doesn't mean she's senile or losing her memory.
Not saying that.
No one's saying that. She's 93 years. I mean, the most liked comment on this thing, or the most upvoted comment, I should say, says, "You're the asshole. If your grandmother being forgetful at the age of 93 is making you, quote, see red and storm out of the family, a family gathering, then you've got some anger management issues. Take a chill pill."
Literally, though.
Literally. Exactly.
Go fucking drink some vodka, man. Like, take
Jesus Christ.
You're also like, okay, for one thing, he says she doesn't do it maliciously, which should excuse a lot of it.
It should excuse a lot of it, yeah. I can see getting annoyed. I got,
like, so fucking perturbed when you said that part, because I'm like, if you know she's not doing it maliciously, why the fuck are you getting so mad?
Exactly. And I can understand being annoyed by it. I explained why I can get annoyed with it. But I'm not going to kill somebody over it. You know, I'm not going to storm out, and I'm not going to do any of that. She's 93 fucking years old. Cut the woman from some slack, man.
Yeah.
I hope he's in his early to mid 20s. But he keeps saying he has a wife, which makes me go, no, he's probably in his mid 30s.
Yeah, probably.
How terrible of a human being is this motherfucker?
And also he admits that he hasn't seen her in 2 years.
Not in 2 years, yeah.
Hello, you know?
Hello? Yeah. It's fucking
stupid. What an asshole.
What an asshole.
What an asshole.
What
a
an
maroon.
asshole. All right, I have one more, Antonio, and then we'll end it there. This one, unfortunately, I think I saved it for later, but I kind of wanted to bring this up here as well because I think it could bring up an entertaining conversation. I think.
Okay.
I kind of wish Jenny was here for this conversation. But this one doesn't really have anything to do with New Year's. It's, am I the asshole for telling my son he needs to give it 1 year at his new school?
The only circumstance where I would say yes is if he's being viciously bullied.
Really? Okay.
I think so.
I agree. I don't think by the title he's deemed the asshole.
No.
Because I tend to agree with him.
Unless there's something horrible that he's just ignoring.
Just ignoring. And yeah, I agree. I thought you were going to say he is the asshole. I genuinely do. And I thought I was going to be like, I was the one who was saying I don't think he's the asshole, judging by the title.
Because from the title, it's like, I understand the sentiment because it's like, you can't, because from what it seems like to me is that maybe he had like a bad 2 days and then like, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's like, give it a bit.
We also don't know how old the son is.
That's also true.
So let's find out, shall we? Mm. Oh, the verdict is interesting. Okay, I can't wait for this. I accepted a teaching position at a private school this summer. It's a well-regarded preparatory school with a military school bent. Okay. Trying to be vague, but you could probably do a Google search and out of the top 5 results, you'd be correct. Noted.
Okay.
One of the perks, yeah. One of the perks is my kids can go there for free. That is a huge perk.
Okay. Yeah, that's
huge.
A pretty fucking big perk.
I have a 14-year-old and 16-year-old boy. So he has two kids. One is 14, one is 16, both boys. Sounds like a great time. The school asked if they wanted to attend, and I asked my boys, and they said yes. They were both pretty gung-ho about it.
Okay.
School starts in a week, and now my 14-year-old is getting cold feet. I asked why, and he said he doesn't want to get a buzz cut or wear a uniform all the time. He does have long surfer hair, so it'll be a big change, as all new students are required to get buzz cuts for the first few weeks before they can grow it out within regulation. Okay, that's very common at those kind of military schools.
Yeah.
I casually mentioned this to my next door teacher, and she said it's normal last-minute anxiety, but also most students wind up liking having short hair and wearing a uniform. I can relate to that.
Okay.
I told my 14-year-old that while that's a reasonable worry to have a uniform-haircut, is no reason to pass up this opportunity, especially last minute, and that he should give 1 year at this school. Want to know what the verdict was?
Sure.
Asshole.
Okay.
I completely disagree with that verdict.
I think I do too.
Yeah. I completely disagree with that verdict because I think the father is being very fair by saying, hey, give it a year. Give it a year.
Here's the thing. As long as that is the deal, right? Mm-hmm. As long as he is true by his word, that it's like, give it a year, and if you still don't like it, you can leave.
You can leave, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as that's the deal.
No mention of the mother at all.
Yeah.
In this either, so I'm curious what her or his
thinks.
Whatever what they think. However, I also like the fact that he spoke to another colleague, and she says, "Oh, it's common. That's
Yeah.
common. That last minute anxiety. That's exactly
Yeah.
what the fuck I went to when I went to high school and I joined JROTC. Was I was so scared of having to keep my hair in constant regulation that I started getting cold feet. My father literally, not literally, but figuratively kicked me in the ass and said, "Just fucking do it, you pussy." But that gave me the boost to say, "All right, I'll do it for a year." And I I think that colleague is absolutely correct, because at first it's kind of weird, but most of the boys ended up liking the short hair and the uniforms.
Mhm.
They end up liking it.
And
That happened to me.
here's-
That happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so
And here's where I'm also like, this might be the cruel parent in me, sure. Right? But where did this start, right? He asked them, "Do you want to do this?" And they said
yes.
yes. And then he set it up so that he could do this for them. And unfortunately, you said yes. You know?
Right. And to me, a year is perfectly reasonable if he adheres to that
Yeah.
promise. You know,
As
if
long as he
adheres to
keeps his
that deal.
word,
Yes.
I don't think it's the end of the world.
I don't think it's the end of the world either. I also find it interesting that it appears to be the younger of the two boys that's
Yeah.
having the problem, and it's around this time in life too where I remember being like, fuck my parent."
Yeah.
You know, I started wanting that level of independence, that level of rebellion. In fact, I remember me joining JROTC was actually slightly a rebellious cry
Mhm.
against my parents. I remember that as well. Granted, I'm not a father,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I was in this guy's position, I would have a very similar reaction to him. I'd say, "Hey, give it a year. Give it a year, bud. Give it
Yeah.
a year, and if you're still miserable,
Yeah. Then we'll
go from there.
yeah.
But give it a year."
Because I'm always a fan of like give it a try, you know, like that kind of mentality. Like give it a try even if you end up
Mhm.
hating it.
Okay, so the most upvoted comment here says, "You're the asshole. Reason with a military school bent. Ew. A uniform haircut is no reason to pass up this opportunity, especially last minute." She says, "Not being down with control for the sake of control is perfectly good reason," which I don't think that's what he's doing.
I don't agree with that.
I don't think that's what he's doing at all.
Especially because like they signed up to go to military school. They know what they're getting into.
Right. This is a private school with a military bent. Hell, I attended one of those. I attended Norwich University to get my master's degree. That's what that is.
Yeah.
You know? And mandatory short hair does not accomplish anything. Well, no, but if that's part of the whatever. I kind of agree with that. I do kind of agree with that. But if it's part of the dress code, it's part of the dress code.
Yeah.
It does not help the student any. I disagree that it doesn't help the student any. I believe it instills discipline.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to keep up with it, and it establishes a level of regimentality that I think, particularly in adolescence, is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
For example, making your bed is one that I do. Antonio, I can't function if I don't make my bed in the morning when I get up. I can't function. No, because it's been drilled into me so much that I need to make my bed. No, I just can't. I don't agree with the
don't
the verdict.
either. And I had a feeling that Reddit wasn't gonna like it because it's a military school.
Because it's a military school. I have noticed that with Reddit.
I had a feeling that was going to be the reason why the verdict was the asshole. And like, listen, whether or not you agree with the dress code and the hair regulations or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
personally, I don't think that's relevant. I don't think that's relevant at all. It's more so that they signed up for a thing, and I don't know how military school works, right? But I'm pretty sure with how most schools are is that when you sign up for it, you're signed up for a year.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to get out of that.
Well, this is why I wanted Jen. This is something I wish Jenny was here for, because she went to that Catholic school where she had to wear a uniform and she had to be kind of stringent with how she dressed and everything like that.
Yeah.
And her take would be an interesting take.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
one, quite frankly, I would genuinely give a lot of thought to, because she kind of went through not military but religious.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Personally, I think if I went to a military school, I think it would be cool. But that's just me because of
is
the
it
type of
for
man
me?
that I am.
No. Do I agree with school uniforms and stuff like that? Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But like, if you said yes, you said yes. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the a big example for myself, and I wasn't a child when this happened, but the sentiment is the same. Where I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the Taekwondo summer camp counseling.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to be. I don't know if I'd be good with like leading that kind of thing. But then at some point I was just like, fuck it, I'll try it. You know, I know the owner. I'm kind of friends with the owner. I was his student. So fuck it. I'll try it. And you know what? I'll admit it. I hated it. But I still worked the whole fucking summer.
Because you're somewhat of a professional. Yeah, but I agree. I just I hate that he's being labeled an asshole and a horrible father, and I'm like, nah, I don't think
it's true.
I don't think it's true.
I don't especially because he's being fair
very
by
fair.
issuing a deal.
Right.
It's a compromise. It is a bona fide compromise, because there is perfectly equal amount of chance that he could go and love it, or that he can go and hate it.
And well, the father's giving him the opportunity for him to reach that decision.
Yeah.
Educationally. Like,
yes.
So over a year, you're going to know.
It's not that, like, it's like the thing of, like, maybe not a good example, but it's like bungee jumping, right? You could be scared that you're about to jump off a fucking cliff. But then what if you jump off that cliff with the bungee cord and then, wow, that was really fun.
It's true.
It's like it's almost the approach that I take with Fat Man Little Boy, where it's like, wow, this food is really fucking disgusting looking and I'm kind of scared to eat it, but I'm going to eat it because what if I like it?
Well, I think we've definitely talked about this before, but the century egg kind of changed us.
Yeah.
Because it looked so gross and that it turned out to be absolutely delicious.
Exactly. And here's the best thing, right, about those kinds of experiences is that when you go into something and you're scared and you're like very nervous about how it's going to turn out, and then you go in and you love it, that's a story.
That is a story.
That's a fucking... How many times have we told people about the fucking century egg?
I know. Well, I think it's even a story if you do it for a year and hate it. I think it's another story, and I love stories.
You could be like, yeah, it was the worst fucking year of my life. I went to military school. This is what it was like, and this is why I didn't like it.
There's a story.
That's a story.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an experience that you otherwise wouldn't have had either way, and you learn a lot about yourself in the process of doing that.
Yeah,
you know, in the very least. Well, Antonio,
I don't think so. I don't think he's an asshole. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I do. I agree. Well, Antonio, about time that we wrap this up. We had 3 Reddit stories. I managed to squeeze those in there.
Squeeze.
Thank you very much for joining me, Antonio. Why don't you pimp yourself out right now?
Sure thing. Hey, I have a YouTube channel called Game Controller Network where I make reviews. I do content where we play games. I do live streams 3 times a week. Monday, Friday, new videos. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we got live streams going on. So why don't you come join me in my chat if you like talking, hearing what I had to say. You can see it with a video game in the background. And that's kind of just what I do. It also, watch Releasing the Unreleased. I mentioned it a lot before. So if you were interested in anything I was saying, that series is full of it.
Yeah. And again, thank you very, very, very much for joining, Antonio. I didn't even know you were thinking about even doing that or bringing it back. So I'm definitely going to check out that show because I love that shit. And all of A&P social media is in the description below. Remember that this is kind of the side channel. This is the variety channel. The main channel is exclusively history-related content. We are working on a massive documentary right now that is over an hour and a half long, and Antonio provided some of the voiceover work for it, along with our friend Steve. And I'm very excited to get that done and get that released, hopefully by January 22nd, which I doubt any of you know the significance of that date. But if you do, you are my favorite person. Anyways, thank you very much for joining us. It's good to be doing these monthly live streams again. I can't wait to get this up. This was always one of the highlights of my month, was doing these A&P monthly live streams where we just shoot the fucking shit about a loose subject and go on for anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. So again, thank you very much for joining, Antonio. And,
Of course, any fucking time, man.
Yeah, anytime. Whew. Take care, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you in the next one. Sayonara.